Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Player Pass episode. What are we up to? 7 now?
Wow.
Yeah, moving right along. Going to catch up with Streaming Matters before long. Thanks for everyone jumping in here. Just a clarification. Claire has decided to take a little bit of a hiatus from the show. She's got some other things going on. She said she'll still watch the show, but she's got some other things going on, so she won't be on the panel. So that'll be the three of us, and then that leaves us 3 spots for people that talk. And we will post the link, and then you can jump in here. So that leaves plenty of room for you people on the side. Plenty of room. Hey, Patty. I saw Patty's in there. Redneck's in there. Eddie G. Thank you, Fred. I saw Alban, of course. He's over in the side chat waiting to jump in here soon. Let's see. And that's it, because we only have 13 people watching. We're struggling here, struggling. Sorry, we're a little bit late. I got late getting home, but we're cranking up now. So how's everybody doing? How are you guys doing? Andrew, Blue, how are you guys?
Good. Good. Thank you for asking.
Andrew says
also good.
Okay. Yeah. Is that a cider? Look like a cider.
No, it's
Stella.
Lager.
Stella. Okay. Stella.
I don't usually drink these, but
yeah, whatever works. And I know Blue's got her wine. I got my beers. Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and get cranking on this.
Let's start, hey, honey, thanks to you, I'm getting drunk twice a week now. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Oh, all right, our shirts. All right, Alban will be showing his shirt when he jumps on here. My shirt. A gift from Forrest.
That is so cute.
Here's his gift from. He sent me a gift, and let's see which one's.
Mine is the heroic.
Periodic table.
Yep. So in other words, it's like instead of iron, it's Iron Man, and they got the Hulk, and I'm almost a 50-year-old woman wearing a T-shirt with like comic book stuff basically on it.
Nerd.
Mine is a jumper.
I love that you guys call it a jumper. That cracks me up every time.
Just a run-of-the-mill jumper / sweater.
I thought a jumper was a sweater. That's not really a sweater though. That looks kind of thin. Like a sweater to me, a jumper would be knitted.
Well,
but that's just my brain, I guess.
It's a long sleeve jumper.
Yeah, it's some pajamas. So thanks for everybody watching. We're up to 18 people, so we'll go ahead and get cranking on this. Alban asked, Blue, where did you find that shirt? He loves it.
I got it from Todd, actually. I've got 2 of them. I've got one that's the basically Marvel. Actually, I think Superman's on here. It might not even be.
Yeah, it's Marvel
and all superheroes. And he got me another one that's all. It's the same. It's the periodic table, but it's all Star Wars.
Yep.
So he's a good honey.
And I got that from woot.com, WOOT.com. They have a t-shirt section. I've got numerous. If you guys remember seeing the one with the jelly donut, and the jelly donut has a bite out of it, and the other one's freaking out because the jelly's pouring out. I got that from Woot.
Yeah.
My Mediterranean shirt was from Woot. Woot has some really, really good shirts. And they're community created, and then they put them out there to sell. So check out Woot. It's a great place to get some t-shirts, and Alban can probably tell us about some shirts when he comes on. So
Christ, yeah, he's got some of the best shirts I've ever seen.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and crank it up. Kenneth, AA, thanks you guys watching. I see you guys jumped in. Thank you guys. So what do we start with? The new movie first?
Do we ask this every week?
Yeah.
I think we start with the old first, and then we do the new last. Do we not?
Okay.
So that people might actually stick around.
So I'm going to say, what I'm going to do is write first on Pursuit of Happiness so that I'll remember. Because I don't remember. So Pursuit of Happiness, and this was a pick by
Andrew.
right down here. Boom, boom,
Yep.
boom. Andrew, pick Pursuit of Happiness.
This guy.
So we will go ahead and let me share the screen on that tab. And we'll go ahead and am I sharing it?
Yep.
All right. So Pursuit of Happiness,
Yes.
2006, PG-13. So nobody under the age of 13 is allowed to watch this. So Andrew, you are allowed to be first or last. Since you picked it, you're able to choose if you want to be the first one to talk about it or the last one.
Go first.
I will go last, please.
Okay.
I will go last, please.
Okay. This is like the coin toss at the football game for me. It's like, all right, do you want to receive it or punt? Or you want to kick off or receive? Or which end of the field do you want? Okay, Blue, I'll let you go first, hon.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Ladies first.
Pursuit of Happiness. Good movie. Was cute. Was like, obviously sad, and this dude had the worst luck of anybody I've ever seen in the world. And then also the best luck. I mean, he loses 2 of these machines that he's carrying around, and he bumps into the people that stole them and gets them back twice. It's like, so he unlucky losing them, really lucky in where were they? San Francisco? They had the
Yeah.
the hills, eh?
Yep.
And with the population of God only knows how big, and somehow he still stumbles across them and gets them back. It's a good movie. It's somebody struggling, a single parent struggling. The wife was at first I thought, oh my God, she's so bitchy. Like, I can see why at some point he's a single dad. But at the same token, I kind of understand a little bit from her perspective in that where she's working double shifts and he's not bringing in anything. I probably would have been a little pissed off too. The thing I didn't agree with is leaving her kid. I'm sorry, but the man says, the boy's staying with me. I would have been like, fuck you, that ain't happening. So that to me was like, I didn't like that part. But it was so cute, and I understand the perspective of when they get kicked out of the place and they've got to sleep in the subway, in the bathroom in the subway. It was devastating to watch when his son's sleeping on him and he's holding his foot against the doors, even though it's locked because people are banging on the door to get in. That was like gut wrenching to watch. But I love the fact that, and I've done this before when with my daughter when we had
This is the picture of it.
we had health issues with her, and in order not to scare her, I made jokes. I made it seem like it wasn't a big deal. You know what I mean? So when he was doing that thing with his son where he was pretending like there was dinosaurs and they were like make believing, that to me is like such good parenting, to make a scary situation not so scary for them anymore. And his son wasn't scared anymore. So for me, that would like hit me in the heart because I've been through that before too. Like my days consisted of making my daughter laugh and making the things that were a huge deal not to be big deal at all. It's like, yeah, that's no big deal. The part that I loved the part where they were in the homeless shelter and his son touches his face and says to him, I love you, daddy, or I love you, dada, or something. It was just it was like, oh, I got all teary. And of course.
Yeah, it was.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, he was just like, he touched his face and he was like, you're a good papa.
Papa, that's what it was. It was so
sweet.
And there's all these people around him, like in all these cots. And I'm thinking to myself, if I was laying there, that would have put a big smile on my face. Like to hear a little kid say that was so cute, especially with all the crap they're going through. And obviously, favorite part of the movie is when he finds out he got the job after all the shit he went through and pretended every time he was walking around with his suitcase and they thought, because he was homeless and he kept saying he was going on trips. It was like, so when he finally gets it and he gets outside and he's in this crowd and the crowd's moving by him and he's like celebrating, oh my God, I lost it. I lost my shit. I mean, I knew it was going to happen, or at least I hoped it was going to happen, that it was going to have a happy ending. And that's when I end up loving a movie. I can't watch something that's sad all the way through and it ends sad. I can't do it. But when it's got a happy ending at the end, I'd watch it again. So I liked it. I liked it a lot. And I can't believe I'd never seen it before. I always meant to, and Will Smith was great. Jaden Smith was good too. He was so cute. Tandy what's her name? Tandy?
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember her last name. She's in
Newton. Tandy Newton.
She's in Westworld.
I was trying to figure out where I had seen her.
Yeah.
I'm
She
like,
plays-
I've seen
plays
her
good bitchy.
somewhere. Yes. She's in. Okay. And Crash.
Yeah, she's in Westworld. She's got some strange nipples.
Yeah.
I've seen them a lot, and they're weird.
Okay. Yeah.
But she was good too because she was, she was kind of bitchy, and I didn't really like her. And when she left her kid, I was like, yeah, I'm done with you. So that's me. You guys go. Todd, your turn.
Okay. All right. What did I think? I liked the movie. It's a feel good movie. What I found, one of the things was the Rubik's Cube. Now, if you guys, people of my age, we remember the damn Rubik's Cube. And this is him, Will Smith. This is when the Rubik's Cube first came out, and everybody's like, you can't solve it.
Only one guy had solved it, right? One guy.
Yeah, because it was brand new. It was like, and Will Smith had one at his apartment. He started messing with it, and he's a guy that is awesome with numbers, and he is just really good with numbers. He can remember. His memory is just really, really good, and when he was looking at it, he could dissect it and break it down and how to do the Rubik's Cube. To be honest, in all of my years, I can get one side done of a Rubik's Cube, and that was it. I never could get more than one side, and I don't think that's not a very high benchmark. I really dislike the Rubik's Cubes. I always wanted to peel off the stickers and put them where I wanted them because I could never get it right.
What the cute part about that part was the fact that when he was at home, though, he didn't solve it. He put it down at one point. So when he's in the car here under this pressure to show this guy that he can do it.
Yeah, at the stockbroker trying to get a job as a stockbroker, and he impresses the guy by solving it. And that was really neat because he had never solved it before, so he kind of did it on the fly. So I thought that was really, really cool.
Sorry, I just got to butt in and say, yep. I used to be able to do Rubik's Cube.
Okay.
Just people out there that think I'm a dumb blonde. No.
Okay. No. Well, we're gonna have to try that one day. So one of the I did like that. I did as Blue says, he loses this bone scanner, which this is his way of making money. All right, so the first time he loses it, he gives it to a hippie girl playing on the street because he's going to go in for a job interview. So he says, "Hey, just hold on to this, keep it until I get back. It's not worth anything, and I'll be back." Now, it's a bone scanner that no doctor's office really wanted because it was overpriced bone scanner, but that was his way of making money. He had basically bought in on this and was supposed to distribute them all throughout.
Looks like he bought dozens, right? Like he had a whole wall.
And he was supposed to sell them in all of San Francisco. That's how he's going to make money. And the hippie girl, of course, takes it. And as Blue says it, so 3 times he's got to track that down. One where he has to track the hippie down. One where he's running from the taxi cab guy because he had gypped the taxi cab guy of some money, and he dropped it when he was getting in the subway. And then the other time was where the guy thought it was a time machine. And it was like some old bum, and he thought it was a time machine. But he finds them each time. He finds it, and I'm thinking, yeah, what dumb luck that it happens at. One of the things that really struck me with this movie was I can't imagine not having a place or a roof over my head or a place to lay down and have my kid protected
and be safe. Yeah,
it's beyond my thoughts because Will Smith isn't making any money. He gets thrown out of his apartment. Then he moves into a motel. So he's living in a motel. He's not paying the rent there, and so of course all the stuff gets thrown out. And so he's with his little boy living on the street. And it's one thing if you're living on the streets. It's another thing to live on the streets and that's your kid. I can't imagine the pressure, the depression to not be able to put a roof over my kid's head, more like having to sleep. And as Blue says, sleeping in a bathroom with the door locked and his foot against it so that he can just make it normal or just be safe. Yeah. One of the other things that I thought on here was, I wrote down less than human. And I think sometimes we look at people that they're less than human. They don't have a value. And at some point, he didn't have a value. He was just a nobody. And again, when he was on the street, he was a nobody with nothing. And I really thought that was really disturbing, but it was also encouraging when you see him accomplish it, because they only take 20 applicants for the internship.
For 6 months, I think.
In the internship, you made no money.
Only one person gets it.
And one person gets hired from
out
of the 20. And he ended up being that person. He was a people person. He had personality based on a true story, which that was another cool thing about this.
Yeah.
Or it says inspired from a true story. So, of course, they took some liberties. But, Blue, go ahead. You took a
No, I was just Andrew had pointed something out to us in the actual movie at the very end of it, which was really cool.
Yeah, and I'll show that in a second when Andrew's talking.
Yeah, let Andrew tell it, because we have no idea.
One of the other things that Will Smith's character was never willing to give up. He had that Chris Gardner. He was never willing to give up. He had a focus, and he knew what he wanted, and he was going to get it. No matter hell or high water, he was going to get it. No matter what obstacles came in his way, he was going to get it. He was just laser focused that's what I'm going to get. And sometimes I even say for myself, I can say that I don't have that all the time, of saying that's a goal and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it with no matter what gets in my way. That was very encouraging. And I really like that I wrote down super driven, never give up.
See, that was one of the things that pissed me off about his wife too, is that when he was like, you know what, I'm going to apply at this place. Like, it was like this firm, and she makes fun of him for it. And I thought, are you a dumbass? Why wouldn't you encourage him to get a better job, like a more stable job? I didn't understand that. Right away, she's insulting him. I'm like,
well, yeah, because she said something when he says he was going to be a stockbroker. She goes, "What about an astronaut?"
Yeah, exactly. Totally making fun of him. Like, nice encouragement.
So, yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, a wife should be there to be an encourager, to be there
and
to.
His thing he's doing now isn't working. Let him try something else. Like, crazy.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed it.
She was probably kicking herself after he made it there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, the story's based in 1981, inspired by a true story. I enjoyed it. It's a movie that's gonna kind of make you uncomfortable, kind of like a pit in your stomach, like, oh, he's struggling. And like I said, when they're living on the streets, and they would take the subway and just ride it, or a bus and just ride it like all night, just somewhere to stay. And but then he makes it. And that makes you really feel good that, he was able to accomplish that. So
that moment was huge when he's in the crowd and he's like clapping to himself. Like, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. There's I don't see a picture for that. So I was looking for that picture there.
That was a great shot. That was a great shot. Him in the crowd.
And one of the things was that I thought was very unique, that when he was, all right. So before he got for the internship, he's walking the streets, and he's trying to sell this bone scanner, and it's like overpriced, and he sees a guy with a Ferrari, and he says, "What do you do for a living?" And he goes, "I'm a stockbroker." He goes, "Oh, okay. Where at?" And he goes, "Right here at I can't remember. It's a real company, but so he says, "I'm a stockbroker." Dean Witter. And did you notice all the people right around down there at the stockbroker Wall Street, wherever it was? They're all smiling.
Yeah. So he pointed that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone around there is smiling. Like, you know what? Everyone's happy around here. There's something going on where there's everybody happy. One of the other things, and here's a quote that really, as a father, you try to be honest with your kids, and your kids will say, "Well, I'm going to go be a famous football player." And you're like, you want to.
Yeah, his son wanted to be a famous basketball player.
Yeah, and he tells his son, "You're not going to be no basketball player because look at me. I couldn't shoot, and I couldn't hit nothing. There's no way you're going to be a basketball player." And then he catches himself, and instead of doubling down and sticking with what I said, because I'm right, he says, "Hey, don't ever let somebody tell you can't do something. Not even me." And he says, "All right." So again, it was that.
That was cute.
That coaching moment as a parent I enjoyed that because I'm like, there's times when we're parents and you have to think about things like that. That there's those moments when you're a parent, those pivotal seconds to make a difference and say something big.
Yeah.
You know, and that was a very big moment that I really felt like he hit it on that spot. So yeah, I liked it. So I'm gonna let Andrew talk about it. What you think, bud?
Well, first of all, we all watched this together
Yeah,
at
we
the
did.
same time.
Yeah.
So, and spoiler alert, somebody cried at the end, and it wasn't me.
It was me.
But no, I was just thinking about the whole movie when you two were talking there, and it basically, I was thinking to myself, oh my god, I'm going to do a Todd here now because I'm going to walk people through the movie. So, like, for people who've never seen the movie before, it's like, I know last week when we mentioned it, a lot of people were saying, oh, it's like a racially charged movie, and I was like, it's not. And it's literally what the title says. It's just the pursuit of happiness. That's his end goal. He just wants to be happy. Like, he wants his child to be happy, and he wants to be secure. It's
Yeah,
not,
a
and
a single
if
parent
you watch the
struggling.
movie, you'll see. Well, yeah, and every white character that he interacts with are rich. They're rich people, but they're all like really, like, they don't treat him any different. I mean, they same. I mean, I know they don't know his personal circumstances, but I'd like to think the way the characters came across, they wouldn't. I'd like to think they wouldn't judge somebody on that.
Andrew, can I just say one thing that I did notice early on, and I don't think at first. You remember the guy that does the voice of Homer Simpson was kind of like his mentor, kind of like he was working with all the young guys and stuff, and he kept saying, "Hey, go grab me a sandwich," or "Hey, go grab me a coffee." The funny thing is I didn't see that as a black thing. I saw that as him trying to see whether or not this guy was going to get him flack for it, because you'd be sure as shit that the rich kids would be like, "Oh, I'm not getting you a coffee." Will Smith's like, "Yes, sir," and off he goes. For me, it didn't feel like a black thing. It felt like they're testing him. They're testing him to see how much he's willing to give in this. Like, that's the way I saw it.
This guy, Dan.
Yeah, he does Homer.
Yep.
He does a lot of characters.
Yeah, he totally does, actually.
He's a funny guy.
Sorry, go ahead, Andrew. So yeah, they didn't treat him black. They treated him just like an intern, kind of.
They just like treated him like an 8-year-old, and they had like a laugh with him and stuff.
Yeah.
And when they went to the ball games, things like that, they just wanted to be friends. Really, they weren't interested in talking business, even though that's what he was trying to do, was like sell them on Dean Witter and stuff like that, try and get contracts. And like the whole thing, like when you were talking about his wife, and she comes across a bit of a bitch. She does a little bit, but when you look at it in context, if you look, like, when it goes back to the start, when he's talking about how he's like, he signed up to sell these bone scanners because he was like, it seemed revolutionary at the time. I signed up for them, and they had the picture, and his wife was like helping them put them in the car, and they've got the picture of them in the apartment with all the bone scanners. Yeah, and she's like, it shows her being really supportive of him.
Yeah.
And obviously, and then he says, well, what I didn't realize is that hospitals were going to see them as like an expensive luxury, like something that didn't really need. But he can't get out of, like, he can't just say, right, well, that failed, I can't.
Yeah, it's too late. He already bought them.
Because he needs to sell them to make rent. And his wife, I can understand why his wife gets like pissed, because she has to pull double shifts at her job, and they're still making enough money. They still were having to rely on him at least selling one of those bone scanners a month, which he admitted that he couldn't sell them for however many months. He said, I haven't sold one for months. So you can kind of see, like, if you went months without selling one of those, and his wife's pulling all these shifts at work, and also he's like reschedule meetings with doctors to go and sell this thing. So he's having to ring her and say, you need to go and pick Christopher up from daycare, and she's in the middle of work. Mm-hmm. So, like, you can kind of see why she would get annoyed after, however, like, because it doesn't really tell you how long he's been trying to sell them for. or when they got them. You just imagine it's like maybe a year or 2 years or whatever. So like I kind of sympathise with the mother's character a little bit, but yeah, she was a little bit. I think she just got fed up in the end, didn't she? Because even in the scene, like on Christopher's birthday, when they give him he's like really happy for him and stuff, and he's trying to be like showing that there's not a worry in the world, and that he gives them basketball and he's laughing on and joking, and then she's just sitting there, and then she goes out onto the balcony and he goes out to talk to her about how he's going to try and sell, or he's going to try and go for this internship, or and she's just like whatever.
Yeah, which is like one of the biggest insults ever.
It's just like yeah, that's when you like. That's kind of like when you think to yourself, "Oh, you know what? You're a bit of a bitch," but then I kind of like you were saying. I think you might have been saying that, Sean, like at the time when we were watching it, because I think this was the first time you'd seen this movie. Was it? Or
yes,
yeah, and like you were kind of like pointing out how like she was a bit of a bitch,
she was
and
a bitch
I was like,
right
at
from
first
the
I was
get-go.
thinking. Yeah, and the first time I watched it, I thought exactly the way you thought when you seen it the first time, but then the second time I watching it, I kind of understood where she was coming from, even though it still seems like she's a bit like she's totally unsupportive at this point.
Yeah, I understood that she was pissed off, but it was like, I mean, we weren't in her shoes. Like, obviously, it was bad. But at the same token, like when he was trying to change things and he still got nothing out of her, I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. If you love him, give him at least a little bit of encouragement. Maybe this will work. Like, because this one isn't working, like what they're doing now.
I think that was pretty good at just showing that the trust had completely gone between the two of them by then. She like you said with the comment when she's like, or when Todd said, sorry, what, you're not going to be an astronaut or something, like, when he's like, I want to be a stockbroker.
Yeah.
It's funny that bit when he walks by and he says to the guy, gets out the really nice car, and he's like, what do you do and how do you do it or something like that, and he's like, oh, I'm a stockbroker. He's like, oh, you probably got to go to college for that, and he's like, no, you just got to be good with numbers and people. And it's pretty well established from the very beginning of the movie that Will Smith's character is well educated and he's a smart guy,
very smart,
and they do make a point of going on about the Rubik's Cube at the beginning, about how no one's cracked it. And then they did, I think there was an interview or like a news scene about it on the TV, and the guy said, the only person that's cracked it is like a professor or something, and he did it in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Which I thought, no way, that's stupid. There's got to be somebody else who's done it. I mean, I've never ever done it. Like, I've never ever done it. So. But that was like kind of establishing that he's quite clever, because he was doing it at the time as he's watching this program. And he is kind of, you can see he's starting to get the hang of it, and he kind of gets one side and he's going like that, like trying to get the sides all matched up. So he kind of puts the seed in your mind, like, all right, he's not just because he's poor and he's got no money, he's not dumb. He's a smart guy.
He's really smart.
It's quite ironic as well that somebody that seems so well educated can't provide for his family, and that's like his biggest. That's the biggest. What's the word? That's his biggest like fear, or like his biggest criticism of himself. Mm-hmm. That he can't. He's got all this knowledge, and he just can't. He's not giving his son or even his wife like a good life. And they're talking about like the taxes and stuff, and he's like, I need to file an extension, and she's like, well, you already filed another one a while ago, and he's like, I need to file another one. She's like, right, so that's like $600 or something, and then there's the fees on top of that. Yeah. And he's just like, please, he's like, I know what it is, I know what it's going to cost, but there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
He sees this guy, and he asks him about what his job is, and the guy says, oh, I'm a stockbroker. And then he's like kind of a narrator for the movie, so he's like, it like goes to the bit where he's like, oh, I looked around and everyone seemed happy, and you're right. If you look at every single person, even the people who are walking by, they're all smiling and they're all happy.
So making that money.
That's what I want. Yeah, and he's like, that's all he wants. He just wants to be happy like them. So he knows he's good with numbers and stuff, and he's quite smart. So he's like, right, I'm going to go for this.
See, and the thing is too, like with the whole wife thing, I was just thinking about that. I could get if he was a lazy prick playing Xbox all day, laying on the couch, but he worked hard. He just couldn't sell them. Like there's a difference between husbands who are deadbeats who aren't trying to work, but he was trying to work. It's just that it was really hard to sell these things. Like, you know, like so I felt bad for him. If he had been laying around, I would have been like, she's right. But he wasn't. He was out every day, you know, walking the street, getting his car towed. Losing stuff, trying to sell so they could have food.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and we got Pat. I think it's Patty D. I think is on here in Albin. I'm gonna go ahead and kick them both in.
Right. But
so let's see.
Out every day.
All right, hey Patty. I think you're gonna turn off. You're gonna have to turn off
YouTube.
YouTube. Maybe. I'm gonna go ahead. I heard you. Yeah, Pat. I think it's Pat. Yep.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So you got to turn off YouTube.
Just mute it.
Okay. How do you
just mute it? Yeah, you don't have to close it. Just mute it.
Okay.
You're gonna have to turn off. Give it a second. YouTube.
Or close it.
I heard you. Pat. I think it's Pat. Yep.
Maybe
All right, Patty, I'm going to mute you for a moment. Just find your YouTube and just mute that image or just close it, but leave this open, the StreamYard. And you can unmute yourself once you get straight. Albin, thanks for joining.
Hey.
First of all, before you do anything else, you got to show us your shirt because...
Okay, I guess you better big screen me.
Hold on, let me... Oh, yeah.
Oh my god!
Hey, when you call it a job.
Oh my god!
When you call it a job.
Right.
Oh, Jesus!
So,
wouldn't expect anything less.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
So, all right. So, Albin, what you think, bud? What were your thoughts on?
I like the movie, but getting back to Blue because I was she responded back to me about
the guy making him get all the stuff for him.
Yeah, because that is I don't think it was potential. I think it's okay, it's the black guy. Let's let's see how much we can make him do.
Okay.
Don't get
I get that. I get that, but maybe because I wasn't looking at this from a race point of view.
Right.
I saw it as these guys are trying to pick the best of the best out of the top 20 in this crew, and most of these are probably rich white guys, who want to be whatever. I didn't see it as, oh well, let's get the black guy, get me a sandwich. I think it was, for me, what I saw was, let's see if this guy will put up with my bullshit.
Right.
So yes, of course.
It's one thing to say put up with it. It's one thing to say, oh, let's have him put up with my bullshit. But there's other people there in the office.
Yeah,
no one else. They didn't ask anyone.
Yeah.
And if you really think about it, when you think about, okay, this was a true story, or whatever. He left Dean Witter in the end because Dean Witter doesn't, right, he started his own thing because more than likely, they weren't taking care of him. They weren't going to pay him as much as they paid other guys.
Either that or he can make more money on his own than he could being a junior partner versus owning his own firm.
But you're still a Dean Witter and you're a stockbroker. Because the reason why I feel about that is because I used to build service for the exchange years ago, and they would look at me like you see me come in here every day, and it's like, okay, well, you got to show me your ID. Are you kidding me? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
So
I guess it was the kind heart in me hoping that it was that, because as a woman, I've been hoping,
but
as a woman, I've been through that. Coffee. Well, there's another dude
it's interesting. It's. I think that's the way it's like kind of set it up. Really, you could see it from two different views. You can see from the view that Shan mentioned, and obviously, and what you said, and also when you think about it, he was the one. I believe he was the only black intern as well.
Yep.
So
Right.
that kind of,
As far as we could tell, yeah.
I can see where you can get the narrative where it's like, he's being singled out, kind of
when
thing.
When he went to his interview, did you see any other black people in that whole room?
Nope.
I mean, when he was
I didn't
covered, when he was covered in paint and stuff.
Well,
That
yeah,
poor-
but
that
there
poor
was like
bugger.
none.
I was like,
there was
oh.
none other. And at first, I was like, "Ooh, there's none in there." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I don't know. Maybe it's just the heart of me hoping that that's how I saw it, because maybe because I'm not racist and I didn't see
Right.
it as black.
I'm not like I'm racist or anything, but
No.
it's just that when you hire a guy, but when you hire a guy who comes in for a job that has paint all over him, and you're sitting there saying, well, this guy is smart, but you know what? If he makes it through all that, I don't have to pay him much. You understand?
Yeah.
That's what's really going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you don't
it
know.
is.
You don't know that.
Yeah,
You're just using.
They
You're
obviously
using your.
paid him enough for him to start his own firm, so he obviously made good money.
Yeah, they don't really put. They don't
Right,
really
but
put
how
it
long
across
did he
the-
have to
they don't
do
really
it
put
for?
across that way.
Yeah,
How many
also
other
think
white
about
guys left there
because
and
if you-
had their own firm?
I
don't know.
Another thing, though, if you're going to go with that, if you're going with that narrative, the fact that he came in unprofessionally, he was dressed in his whatever he had, and he was honest. And he said, "I got arrested. I was in the middle of painting."
Oh, I
And they
forgot.
just
Yeah,
found
I
it as a
got
joke. But
arrested.
if it was like racial, if they were like let's say they were racially motivated by who they took on, they wouldn't even give him 2 seconds. They would just say, "You just like unprofessional. You've came in," and they did say, like, what would you say about if a guy came in with no shirt and tie or whatever like that? And he says, "Oh, he must have," and then he makes the joke. He goes, "He must really have really good pants."
Yeah,
and that's kind of like the icebreaker and all that.
Yeah.
And that guy
was a
turns
good answer.
to the other guy. He turns to the other guy that he met. Yeah.
Go ahead. Turns to the other guy that he met.
I was just going to say, he turns to the other guy and he says, like, is he normally dressed like this? And he's known, or he's usually in a suit and tie, and he's like, he's always been like, he comes across really polite and stuff. So.
Yeah, like for me, there. I obviously see it different than you all, but I didn't see a race issue. I just saw a single dad struggling to get through things, because if anything, like when you watch, every time, I always remembered his name. I love that when that guy out of nowhere walks up to him and he says, "Hey, Chris," and then he's like, he goes, "Oh, hey," and he couldn't even really remember the guy's name, but the guy remembered his name, and I was like, okay, that he has a presence about him that everybody instantly liked him, and everybody instantly, you know what I mean? There was something real neat about him.
Right.
Even when he showed up in painting gear, he's still got an internship.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a lot different, because being a black man, knowing how hard it is to get a job in that type of industry,
yeah,
it's so hard, and there's a lot of other things that he, let's say, for example, okay, he gets tickets on your car, you go pay them off, and they say, "Oh, well, you're going to have to stay here in jail." Okay? If that were a white guy, really, would they say that to them? Or I'm going to take your check, but, you can go ahead and go home and make sure that it clears. Where do you get off saying, "Okay, here, I'm paying the money, but I still got to stay in jail"? Do you get what I'm saying?
I do get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's a lot different for a black man, and I feel for him for that, especially knowing he has his kid, he has to go pick him up. He goes and he goes to the shelter, and he says, I need to, I want you to even, could you just hold my child for me? And they said, no, we're going to put him through the system. So of course he's going to say, oh well, I'll take him myself. I'll sleep in the bathroom of a subway station first before I dare give you my child for you to put him through the system.
I don't know if
fair?
that's entirely a black thing. That's more of a. I've seen that happen to white people. I have here. Just the whole story, but we're not taking responsibility for your stuff. Figure it out. It's like the system when it comes to people who need a hand broken. It's broken. Like the fact that he couldn't pay for a motel room killed me, because here in Canada, we have a very good welfare system. We have a very good, so it's like watching that, I'm like, is this what happened in the States? Like, holy Christ.
It's what happens here all the time.
Here you get pretty good money to when you're not working. You know what I mean? You get he would have got like father's allowance. He would have got, you know what I mean? Like, so that was
there's none of that here.
Watch for me, because it was like, holy Christ, that's not right. It's not right.
Yeah, it's a lot of jumping through hoops here.
Yeah,
and that's why it killed me when he finished fixing that last machine. And he finally gets money. The first thing he does is go to a hotel, and instead of going to a motel that's cheaper, he goes to a hotel. I couldn't understand that. I'm like, why? You don't know if you're going to even get the job.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And he goes, it's like, I understand that he figures he wants his son to be happy.
Yeah. It's like he wanted to splurge, I guess.
Right. Once, but I'm shocked that he would go ahead and spend that extra money on that, knowing you don't have a pot to piss in.
Well, you say that, but that kind of like, I think that's pretty much his character, really. Because if you think back, when he's first got that little bit of money and he's in the he's in the shop or whatever, and he's getting the money off the guy. I forgot what he's getting the money for, actually. He sells something to someone in the shop, and the guy gives the guy. Yeah, and the kid's looking at the bar, and he's like, "Do you want one of those?" And the kid's like, "Oh no."
Yeah, he wanted the candy bar.
And he's like, "No." Yeah, and he give him the candy bar. So like, all he wants to do, he just wants his son to have a good life and like experience nice things. So that's why I think when he made that money straight away, like, it's not a very wise decision to go to a hotel. But if you remember, like, they're walking down, and the son says to him, "Are we going back to the shelter?" And he's like, "No, we're not going there. We're going to go to a hotel." And he's like, "A hotel?" And he's like, "Yeah." He was. And he's like, "Oh, so we're not going back to the cave?" And he goes, "No, like, hopefully we'll not have to go back to the cave ever again." I don't think that's I don't think, like, at that moment in time he wasn't thinking, "I'm definitely getting this job, this internship or whatever, or this job." I think he was just thinking at the time, "I've got money.
Celebrate.
I want to spend it before," because if you remember, he had that 600. He said, he sold all of his machines for the month or whatever it was. He sold all his quota, and straight away his money, like, because he filed that extra extension on his taxes, and he never paid it back. They just he's like, they reached in the bank account and they took all his money. So I think as soon as the next time he gets a lot of money, or what's a lot of money to him, he's like, "I'm going to spend this before it gets taken off us."
Yeah.
So I think that was more the motivation. That was more the motivation that was like, "I better protect it, I keep this money and like save it and stuff like that."
You know what? I didn't even think of that.
I just think at that time you just thought, "I've got this money, I want to spend it on my child straight away."
Well, yeah, let's enjoy this minute. Hey, let Patty, since Patty's jumped on here. Patty, is that Patty D?
Yes, it's Patty D.
Patty D. She made this show.
I got the
Patty. Hey, long time watcher. She's been loyal. She watches Streaming Matters show. She watches my how-to videos. So thanks for joining us, Patty. So what did you think of the movie? Thoughts?
Okay, so I love Will Smith as an actor. From this perspective, I'm only going to give you from my perspective.
Okay.
He was a poor person trying to get the goals of society. That he was trying to pursue that happiness that most of us want. That is to have a great home. That is to have money in our pockets. That's to be able to provide for our children. And these are some of the challenges that people have to go through in order to get those things in life.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't have that kind of money, so we have to use whatever is available. So selling those boxes helped him to get where he needed to go. And he kept pursuing all of the all I saw in the movie was everything that was being thrown at him. He didn't care. He kept pursuing that happiness that most of us want in life. And yes, there was a lot of challenges. Even his wife, I looked at her as most women want is their husbands to come home, have money in their pockets, and take care of them. He couldn't provide that for her at that time, and she didn't have that type of patience for it. So she moved on. And it's just life, especially when you come from nothing. And these are the things that people have to do when you want that pursuit of happiness in life.
Yeah, you have to reach for something that feels like it's out of reach. Like
Yeah.
he wanted to try this job and she's making fun of him. And it's like, how is he ever going to be anything unless he tries it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was awesome. Yeah. And I do love Will Smith too.
Yeah.
He's sexy.
This is like set in like,
I think he does
Yeah.
he's a great actor.
Yeah.
That is his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Aiden.
Yeah. Which I didn't realize that until
that's his
so we
son's
started.
only good movie.
Look at how cute he is, though. He was great in that too.
Sorry. Yeah, hey, Alban, you can talk anytime
That's
you need
why
to talk.
their
just unmute
relationship
and
in the
then
movie
back in.
worked.
Yeah. Well, and
That's why the
just- it was just
relationship
so-
between the two of them works so well.
You know, as a parent, like I said when they were on the basketball court, there's so many of those moments that as a parent you've got to instill in your son. And Alban brought up a good point, and I was thinking about it. So when I talk to Charles, I see things differently from how Charles sees things.
Yes.
Because his life experiences are different than my life experiences. Not because we lived a different life, and his hurdles in life have been different. So when we've talked about certain subjects, the police or jobs or things that we've watched movies in, there's no lie, we've watched movies, and I'll say, oh, that happens like that because of this, and he'll say, no, that didn't happen because of that. That happened because he's black and he has these type of barriers that's not going to allow him to be in the same situation. I'm like, no, he's not. That's not what they're showing in this movie. He's like, well, yeah, that's the real barrier. And it's because he looks at it differently because he's experienced those barriers, those looks, those hurdles that I haven't experienced.
We all have different, perspectives.
Right. And again, it goes back to when we talk about banker, there's a lot of the same thing. So so it's not right and wrong, or Blue, you should have saw that, or Alban saw that because he was better. He noticed it better. It's because his sense, he's more tuned into certain things.
Yeah.
Now,
and I get that 100%.
Right.
I'm just, from my perspective, I was hoping it was a challenge for him.
Yeah.
That's the way I thought.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. There's nothing about, hey, you're right or wrong, just because there's been situations me and Blue have talked about. And you'll say, well, that's because she's a woman, why she didn't get this, or why he looked at her like that. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And they're like,
and you're not a woman, so you don't know.
And you'll say, yes, it is. It's a woman's thing, da 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 da. And I'm like, no, it's because she didn't have the qualifications, or whatever the issue is. But it's because in my eyes, I've not experienced that.
Yeah.
So
I guess
it is really neat how to see different people.
It was more of a hope, I guess. I think
Yeah.
Alban sees it the way Alban sees it because he sees a situation differently than I do. Mine is a hope. I'm hoping that's why
Yeah.
they were doing it.
Yeah.
I wish it was
Well-
explained more. Almost, I wish somebody had said, oh, it's because he's black, or you know what I mean. But it leaves it to perspective. I guess.
Yes, and again, it's because Albin has
I think they
experienced
didn't
that
want to put that
situation.
narrative across.
So that's why
I
I'm
like
saying
the
it's
fact that
different
honestly
points.
that it felt like he was it to me. Like, I mean, he's so smart and he was so driven and he was such a good dad that they saw. I felt like they saw that potential in him right from the initial thing where he was covered in paint and he'd just come out of jail. I felt like they saw that in him and they were just pushing him to be stronger, to be, resilient, to be, because this job isn't an easy job. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of, can you handle it? That's the way I saw it.
Okay, Blue. So what do you think would have happened if he would have said to them, I got arrested and I got no money. I'm homeless. I got my child. You know what I'm saying? No, but
he didn't say that.
He didn't say it that way.
Like he was traveling with a suitcase.
Right. If he would have said straight out, right, then right. But if he would have said that I got arrested because my car had tickets on it, and I tried to pay it, and they made me stay in jail, they would have looked at him like, that doesn't happen. But
or they would have looked at that. They would have looked at it like, we don't need that drama up in here.
Right. Right.
We don't need it. I would. I've hired people. Yeah. Go ahead, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to say, can I tell you how I saw that whole thing? I think the reason he didn't mention that kind of stuff was, one, because it's embarrassing for anybody.
Yeah.
To say, listen, I'm homeless.
Couldn't afford that.
I'm a single dad. I'm homeless.
Yeah, I would have
got arrested because I didn't pay these bills or these taxes or whatever, and also, and I've totally lost my train of thought here now. I'm trying to think. There was a more important point than the first one I've just made, and I can't remember.
Why you wouldn't tell them that he was in jail for not being.
Keep talking. I'll come back to it.
He'll come back to it.
Yeah.
You know what? I kept hoping every time.
Yeah, but it's something that Oren said that.
Sorry, go ahead. Did you remember it?
I had said that.
No.
Well, I will say this about Blue.
Oh my God, we're like old people trying to fucking remember what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, I will say Blue always, and this is her, she always looks at things on a positive spin. And,
right.
And I don't. You tend to always look at it like, all right, we'll go back to when you had to deal with. All right, go, Andrew.
Did you remember?
Andrew? Yeah, he heard me. I stopped.
I remember. It's because he didn't want to come across as showing a weakness, and he just wanted to. He didn't want. I think personally, he didn't want pity.
Yeah.
He wanted just to be seen as a hard-working guy.
Right.
I don't think it was anything to do with
yeah. Like Andrew, every time he had a suitcase,
go on, Shannon.
My brain is going, tell them, maybe they'll help you. Like that, my brain kept. I admire him.
They don't help you.
Okay. The thing is, my brain kept saying, please, just say something. Maybe somebody will help you. Maybe, I don't know. I was like, but he struggled through it, and I'm like, oh God, I don't know how he's able to do this. But it made me proud of him. But it's
literally.
Fuck, you need help. Maybe somebody will help you.
Yeah.
You just gotta ask.
Yeah, it's been. Yeah, it's
maybe it's like that in Canada, but here in the States, okay, you're fucked. Okay.
He was just.
I mean,
I think it was just he was embarrassed. The whole thing was just he was embarrassed.
Yeah, I watched this movie and I didn't see black and white. I saw a man, a single parent, struggling to make ends meet for his child. That's what I saw.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the movie was a whole black and white thing. Not at all. I love the movie, but I'm just saying from my perspective of knowing what he must feel, because really, you think that, when he was running out and he had to go to the other office, and the other boss is downstairs and asked him for the $5,
Yeah.
or the other guy say, go move the car. He's on his way to go and try to make some money. But he knows that, I got to stop and I got to take care of this guy. Meanwhile, he could have been in there. It's like he took the call sheet and he goes all the way up to the top, and he knows once he talks in there, he can do something.
And I have to agree with Auburn from his perspective. When he's in the classroom and they're asking him, why is it that he's only particularly getting the black man to go get the coffee, go get this, go get the donut, when there's other people in the classroom, what they're focusing on, he was the only one that they're picking on. So when he leaves the classroom, he's missing information as he's going to go get this donut that other people are picking up.
Right. And it's not like he's getting one donut or one coffee.
I'd like to hope, once again, a little bit of hope in here. I'd like to hope that because it was told, it's his point of view of the story, that maybe he was more often than not, but not every single time. Because if that was the case, then that's fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Well, but I think you're right. I do see where what did seem like he was the one that was the gopher, and maybe they were trying to give that black stereotype that they were waiting for him to snap. They were putting him in that situation where he was going to be like, I'll be damned if I'm going to go get your coffee and slam some shit down. Maybe he was trying to push him to that limit to where, that's why we don't allow you in this.
Yeah.
That's why.
Look
at you now, acting like a fool.
Too smart for that.
Maybe they were trying to set him up.
But honestly, from a woman point of view, I don't know if Patty's the same as me, but I mean, I get asked to do shit that no guys ever get asked to fucking do.
Yes, I do.
I know what that perspective is like.
Okay.
Oh, you know what that perspective, be asked to do certain things.
But now you know.
Hold on, I need more wine. I'll be right back.
Hold on, I was getting ready to take us a different direction. All right.
Can I just say as well?
Yes.
I know I'm not as loud a talker as everybody else, so it's hard to, for me to put in. But if we've got to remember as well, this is set in the 80s,
81.
I think it's the early 80s. Yeah, and then if you look at it from his Christopher's point of view, from when he would have been growing up as a young child, he would have been in the thick of racial discrimination, in the years when he was growing up as a child. So you could I think they did a good job of kind of pushing the point of it's more about his journey of reaching like Patty says the pursuit of happiness, but also doing these little subtle hints of you can take there's parts of the movie you can take it this way. It's the way Shan and probably myself saw it. Is the guy at the testing them, or you can take it the other way. Of it's why is it the black man to go and do all these? They did a good job of giving it you could see it from either perspective really, and they didn't really say this is why. This is why he's telling them to go and get the donuts. This is why he's telling them to go and get the drinks. So yeah, it's open to interpretation really, that bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think I don't think they made this a racially charged movie, and they didn't focus on race.
No.
They focused more on a hardworking man,
Happyness.
a hardworking man, a really good guy who is intelligent, who is well educated, and just wants the best for his child, and that was the main focus of the movie, which is why I think that's probably personally why I liked it so much, was because it wasn't they could have easily just played the race card type narrative, which they didn't do. in my opinion. But obviously, because
I think
of
it was just
the
one
setting,
element to his. It was just one
Yeah.
element. I mean, single father,
it's
being black.
definitely
There was all the
it's definitely
there was
there.
several cards that he had to deal with, and being focused to get through it.
Yeah, well, and we would be totally naive to think, oh, it had nothing to do with races or race or anything like that, because especially when you look at the time period of when it was,
Oh yeah.
even like, I mean, you've just got to look at present day, really.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Wait a
Racism
minute. We
hasn't gone
can look at today. I mean, the same stuff goes on.
It's still there.
I
mean,
have
it's
to
not-
agree, Andrew. That it just showed some of the challenges as a human
And
being that
it's
some of us
interesting.
have
It's
to go through. And I just think it's the pursuit of happiness. And here's what you have to go through in order to have that happiness.
Yeah, you got to
For
make
this
it. And
particular person.
yeah.
all right, so what? This is a picture that we watch it. It's at the very end of the movie, and again, we watched this with
This is the
on
very
Plex.
end.
At Plex, we watched it on Plex, and it was Andrew, Blue, and myself watching it on Plex. So we were all watching it at the exact same time, and we were on here. We would mute ourselves. We would mute ourselves so we couldn't hear each other. But if we had something to say, you'd unmute your mic and say something, and then mute it back, and we continue to watch it. And Andrew, what has to go with what's up with this picture?
Oh, so
Andrew?
this is like a really quick scene at the end. He's like, he got the he obviously got the job, and he's walking along with his son, and they're just having a little chat, and it's a lovely little scene. They walk past, and then this guy in the suit here walks past them, and like Will Smith's character kind of looks at him, and I said to you and Sean at the time, that guy there is Christopher Gardner. That's the real guy that this movie is about.
I thought that was so cool.
That's the actual person. So he has like a little cameo at the end, and it's like how this like looks at him as like, and he looks so oh, that guy's successful.
Yeah,
That's great. It's kind of like him looking at his future, really.
yeah.
But I was just like, I like how they had that little crossroads, and then Will Smith just looks at him and is like, "Well, who's that guy?"
And they
I
did
like
talk
pointed out
about.
YouTube, I was like, "That's the actual Christopher Gardner guy."
And that was neat, but if you read at the end, he actually sold off for multi-millions his stock portfolio, or his investment group or something.
He created his own company, didn't he?
Half the shares,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. He said he sold it and sold it for millions. So he didn't just stay at Dean Winter. He moved up and became successful and ended up selling off and living a comfortable life, of course. So yeah, I thought that was really neat.
Seriously, his wife's kicking herself.
Oh, this was where. Oh no, this is just in the
That's
street. That's just regular street.
That's it.
I think.
No, look at there ain't
don't know
nobody
this for
happy in there.
Yeah, I don't know this for fact, but I feel like he's probably still was on good terms with his wife after that, because he never, like Will Smith's character never ever showed any ill will towards his wife.
No,
It's just like, listen, I know what's best for our son. I'm taking him. He's living with me because he had ambitions where she just wanted to get by. He wanted to be something. So he's like, and I want to show our son you can be something no matter what. That's why this scene here is really good.
That is wonderful, but you know what? I told you this before. It'd be a cold fucking day in hell. I'd be giving up my kid. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
But Blue, I understand that not giving up the kid, but what was the mother supposed to do?
Get a
She's gonna
babysitter and
move
work double shifts. You do what you got to do. He didn't even have. He
She's
wasn't
already
making any
working
money.
double shifts.
He wasn't making any money, and she was. You'd really.
Yeah.
Would you honestly, Aubin? You have a child with a woman. And she's
And
not making
and
any
also-
money. Are you really going to say she's better off? My kid's better off with her?
No, I'm not saying that she's better off without a child. I can't. I just can't understand saying, oh well, I'm just going to move across the country to go work in some restaurant. You know what I mean?
Okay, but I'll tell
That's
you
what I'm saying.
I'll
I'm
tell
not
you
saying-
what that right now. That never would have happened with me. Ever.
Right.
Ever.
Right. Right. I felt that she just didn't want to deal with the child.
And I can
because it was always this character that was always, doing everything for his child because it was going, picking him up and everything. The mother really wasn't.
100%. He was the parent. She wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, that's the way I see it. He's me.
Yeah. And I totally see your point there because at that point where she's moving away, she's actually going to have some stability, whereas his future is uncertain, which is weird. Which is why I understand what you're saying. It's like a cold day in hell before like someone takes my child off. It's like you would think the logical thing would be for the kid to go with her because she's going to have a house, or she's going to have a roof over her head. She's going to have a job.
Yeah.
But she didn't even want to go say goodbye to her child.
Get kicked out of the apartment.
The thing is, honestly, in this situation, he's the mom.
Well, she kind of like makes it feel like shift. Yeah.
He's the one that's not parting with his kid. I admire that.
He said that though. He says that he was going to be part of his kid's life, and because his dad wasn't. So I think that's.
He said he met his dad when he was 28, right?
Yeah. So all right, so we're going to roll it up because we're at an hour and 6 minutes, and we're not even into the second movie yet.
The player pass?
No. All right, so we're going to go to the player pass, and I'll go ahead and start with Alban. Player pass. What do you think on this one?
Play, definitely.
All right, Miss Patty D.
Play.
What you think? Play. All right. Miss Blue, what you think, hon?
It's a definite play.
Definite play. Andrew's gone to get another beer. Or one of those Stellars.
I'm pretty sure it's a play for him, seeing as he picked the movie.
He picked it,
Yeah, and I'll give it a play. It is a movie. It's a roller coaster, so you're going to feel good at some points, and you're going to feel a little bit bad. And somebody did cry at the very end.
I cried a couple times.
That was. So Shrinking Sharon says play. Redneck gives it a play. Eddie gives it a play.
If you don't cry at the end, there is something wrong with you because it's such a good, feel-good moment. It's like he did it. Holy crap!
He made it.
You don't get a little teary, dudes, then something's wrong with you.
I knew when I felt a little lump, I was like, and I was like, oh, I know who's crying. So it's like I said, we were on Hangouts. I'm like, who's crying right now?
Yeah, that'd be me.
And Blue's like, and she's wiping her face. So it was a good movie. Good movie. Great choice for Andrew. I think it's definitely a watch. And so we're going to move on to The Banker, which is so weird.
Better than The Faculty.
You couldn't get much worse on that. So I will say again. So Andrew, you gave that a play, right?
Oh, 100% play, yes.
Yeah. So all right. So I asked everybody else. I knew it would probably be a play for you since you chose it. It's just weird that sometimes we get. Pissed. No, that's good. I'd rather you do that than do it in the bottle while we're watching. So I think it's cool that it's weird how we pick movies and sometimes they have like a underlying theme. Again, this was Pursuit of Happyness, a man going through this, and then we have The Banker, which I didn't know anything about the movie until we went to it. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out, and I will share my screen for The Banker, and we're going to move on to that movie. And I'm going to go ahead and put Patty and Alban out on the you guys will be in backstage.
Okay.
So if you hang with me.
Okay, wait, hold on.
You want us to leave?
Have you both seen it?
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Then yes.
I said wait. So if you guys both watch this?
Yeah.
Okay.
How am I not going to watch?
Okay. Well, you know what? Hey, all right. Blue put me in line. That's all right. I'm good. I'm staying in line. So we're gonna go.
Putting us out?
No, I ain't. No, because I was just gonna put you to backstage and then pull you back into the stage. But that's all right.
Backstage,
we're gonna.
You can put us backstage.
No.
You know, You know, it's not a black guy in the back again. You know, back in the bus.
Oh,
You
Jesus.
know. You see what I'm saying? Was there a reason? You know? Do you understand what I go through now?
Yeah,
Are you getting it yet?
Yes.
Oh my God! See what I got to deal with every fucking day.
Every fucking day.
All right, so we're gonna go to the banker, and I'm gonna be first on this. I'll be first on this, then I'll let Patty, and then Alban, and then we'll go to Blue, and then Andrew.
Okay.
So, based on another movie, and again, the common theme, and what's weird is we didn't choose these. You guys watch this. We just choose these off the cuff and what we're going with this thing, and how it feels of what people suggest. Another black-themed movie with racial undertones and all of the and you know, it's almost like, well, maybe this isn't the time for that, is what you think. You think maybe this isn't the time. Well, maybe it is.
Maybe
and that's why
It is.
maybe it is. So we're gonna go. We went with it. We went with the banker. I'd never seen it. We watched the trailer. The trailer looked good. I like Samuel L. Jackson, so we watched that. Based on true events.
Anthony Mackie.
True events, and let me share that screen, y'all. Oh, we are sharing it. All right, never mind. So, inspired by true events, again, another true events, 1965, and where it's two guys trying. Well, basically one guy that really wants to make it. Bernard wants to make it. This is another guy that knows numbers. He knows numbers. Oh my gosh. And you're watching him and he's doing numbers and it's just like off the top of his head. He's just so good at it. And it was just so amazing. And everything at that time was stacked 100% against him. But at the beginning of the movie, hold on, one thing. Wait, I got to change one thing, y'all. One thing. I got to change the ticker. So I got to edit that. Hold on. One more moment. I got to clear my notifications because Windows 10 sends them all right there at the beginning. Right there, right where I got to write. So the banker. And this was something that Forrest told me. He says, well, there's no reason after I watch your show to even watch a movie because you done gave all the spoilers. I said, we give you that warning.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that warning's out there because
the whole point is you watch it with us and then you tell us what you thought of it.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure the ticker was running on that. So again, the deck is stacked against him. He learns as a kid. He wants to he's learning about numbers and banking and all that kind of stuff.
And his dad tells him basically that there's no point in you writing that stuff down because no black man be able to use it anyway.
Yep. Yeah. And it's the thing is again with the don't set your bar so high is what his dad was saying. Don't set your bar where you ain't ever going to reach it, boy. You ain't ever going to reach that bar. And that's what he was saying to him. And Bernard's like, no, I'm going to reach that bar.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go beyond that bar.
Yeah.
And I really thought that was the, and again, at my age and where I lived in at parts of my life, and this was the first part of it was based in Texas. And not to put a stereotype to Texas, but I'll just say the South is worse in some aspects than maybe other parts of the country.
Because he moves to, where was he?
California.
California?
He moves to California. It's a little bit different. But it was against the law for a black man to own property. And I thought that was really weird.
Stupid.
But it was 1965. One of the other things I wrote down was social activism. So he was being an activist just by buying property and to being successful. He was able to make change just by being successful. He didn't need to go out and protest or this or that. He was going to make change by making things happen.
And he was relocating people who like in packed neighborhoods into nicer neighborhoods.
Yeah, he was moving people from the ghetto to the nicer part of the neighborhoods. Yeah. And he was saying that.
Where it was safer for them.
One of the things I thought there. So part of the movie, so Bernard gets in with Samuel L. Jackson. They work out a deal and Bernard wants to buy property. Now, he had bought property in Texas. He moves to California. He wants to buy property in California. And that was a no-go because no banks wanted to loan a black man any money and all that kind of stuff. Samuel, he actually does buy some property with a white guy who is a
Who died?
Irish. He was Irish, right?
Yeah,
He was
call him
Irish, and so since he was Irish, he said, "I'm looked upon differently because I'm Irish. I'm looked down upon. I'm dirty. I'm dirty Irish because and people don't want to deal with me." So they work out a successful business. The white guy dies, and he gets
and then
him with
his wife fucks him.
Yeah, the wife, the ex-wife, the wife
What a
of
bitch.
the white guy says, "You're gone. I ain't dealing with you because you're black man."
I'll give
and
you 25 cents on the dollar. When
So
he was
him
a
and
half
Samuel,
owner.
so him and Samuel L. Jackson work together to. He is just awesome with numbers, and that was the thing. He was a person. And it goes back to Will Smith's movie, a laser focused.
It's called
what
a
he wanted to
genius,
get.
honey. He was a genius.
Well, no. What he
He's a
wanted to
genius.
fit, where he wanted to go, he could see his goal.
Oh, I see
And
what you're talking about.
he wasn't going to change. No obstacles going to get in his way. He was going to meet
family.
that goal, and he was
Mhm.
going to get there. And I really enjoyed that part. So he becomes successful. Then he wants to make a change at home, and they end up having to bring a white guy in to be the face to buy the stuff because a black man can't, white guy can't.
Yeah.
And to me, it's weird and it's sad. And it's like, how do I wrap my brain around it? But reality is reality at the time. One of the other things is the young guy wants to be respected. And that really bothered me that Samuel L. Jackson and Bernard, I don't remember.
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie. Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you. They almost held him down a little bit and didn't give him the respect that he deserved for what his role was. Now, granted, he was a face, but he was good. And he was smart.
Hell, he wasn't.
Well, no, he was smart. Now, he did make some mistakes. But
good at remembering stuff.
When they showed him stuff, I mean, he was on it. So it was kind of like they were holding him back or wouldn't allow him to grow. It was almost like...
You know what happened in that situation, though. When you watch the whole thing unfold, yes, instead of being just a paid person, they should have cut him in a little bit. They totally should have.
Yeah.
But you know what the downfall was of that? And that was the fucking wife.
Well, okay,
the wife who said, "Oh, hey, how come they haven't made you a partner yet? Are they going to make you a partner on the next bill?" And then his brain started going, because I think he was pretty happy with where they were until she started spinning his wheels. And then all of a sudden, I'm not getting enough out of this.
One of the other things I thought that was interesting, and did you catch it when they were in the bathroom and Bernard's wife was in there with him, and Bernard's talking about the accomplishments that he had done, and he'd done this and that, and she said Nina Long, and she says something about it, and Bernard actually used some bigot kind of thing about that she couldn't do it because she was a woman.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa. You had to jump through all these hoops and to rise up because of oppression, and a woman can't. And he's like, well, you can't because you're a woman. And he kind of looked down upon her. And I was like, whoa. And she caught him on it. And I'm like, man,
Remember, women couldn't even vote back then.
Well, the thing is, okay, as a white woman, things suck. As a black man, things really suck. As a black woman, holy motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Those cocksuckers.
Yeah. And so that really, what, Patty? Well, hold on. Patty said she could talk.
I know. Blue got it.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, like it's friggin' brutal. Yeah.
But I just, when I watched that part, I thought he could see the oppression of him being a black man, but he missed the oppression of being a woman, or even a black woman. He missed it. He saw the oppression that he was dealing with. He didn't see the oppression that his wife was dealing with.
She let him know, though, pretty good. It was that was awesome.
She kind of called him out on it, and I'm like, ooh, because he completely missed it. So again, when we're all caught in our own stereotypes or our own problems, your perspectives, you don't always see the other person that may be dealing with something as bad or even worse than what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
So I thought that it was a very inspiring movie. if it,
Holy
it
crap,
does,
yeah.
it is a feel good movie, and it again to me, it was they're mirrored movies because a man with a laser, the theme for me, laser focus that this is where I'm going to be,
And getting there.
this is what I'm going to get, and I'm getting there. There's
Because
nothing going to stop.
they went to jail, which was fucking
Yeah, at
stupid.
the end, yeah.
But they ended up buying property wherever they moved. Where was it? Some island, right?
Bahamas,
Bermuda or whatever.
Bermuda,
And then they ended up coming back to the States and kind of going again, which was awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, all right. So
But
I'm
think
gonna let
about
Pat.
the money they lost.
Yeah.
They lost a lot. They lost. A lot. Patty, I'm gonna let you be next, babe. Go ahead.
Oh,
Patty, Pat, you gotta unmute yourself.
There we go.
Samuel L. Jackson is one of my favorite actors. I love him in Hateful Eight. I can watch that movie 1,000 times. I love that movie. Any movie he played. I mean, he seems to put his heart and soul into his acting.
And he's like 70 or something. He does not look 70.
No,
like it's crazy.
Oh,
Black don't crack.
Hey, I couldn't use that, but I was thinking it.
I love him, especially when he's in the bar and he says, I ain't sleeping with your wife.
Oh my God.
Oh, when he, hey,
there you go. There you go.
Was funny that's funny though that when he says, "I can come to your table and say I sleep," he goes, "Now I can't go to all these tables and say that."
And he knew this guy. He knew Anthony. He knew that he had a lot of hate in his heart, and he just joked through the whole movie. And he kind of told the guy about himself. Especially when they sitting in the area where they're drinking and smoking a cigar, and he said that you got a lot of hate in your heart, and then he goes to the door, and the guy says, "I don't have no hate in my heart," and then Samuel goes, "Yes, you do." I'm like, I
like when he was talking about the first time he met him, and he wanted to get the stick out of his ass. He says that to Anthony Mackie. I'm like, oh my God. Because Samuel was just such a cool character.
Yes, he was. And once again, it is a movie about African Americans having to go through difficulties in life. But what I loved about this movie is even though these folks were challenged and it was going through Jim Crow, they had to go through the back door, but they came out on top. So once again, it's the pursuit of happiness. And they had to serve time, and Samuel Jackson goes, "Yeah, they wanted my ass out of jail."
Oh yeah, I knew you'd get out of here sooner than me. He's like, they wanted my ass.
You get out of here before me. And he was like, because they wanted my ass. And he did, and he planned ahead because the guy, before he had to testify, Anthony told him to put some money away. So he did. So, and once again, you have to look at it from the struggles of a certain set of cultures had to go through in order to pursue happiness, to even get some of the wealth that other people wouldn't let us have. So I loved the movie. I thought it was dead on. But Samuel L. Jackson, I'm in love with him.
I had to send him your damn number.
Oh, hey, Patty. Patty, have you ever watched Altered Carbon?
No. I missed the movie with Samuel?
No. It's not Samuel. It's Anthony Mackie. First season is a white guy plays this character, but the premise of it is the guy switches sleeves. He switches bodies. So the first season he's a white guy. The second season he's Anthony Mackie, and he is sexy as shit in that.
Really? What's the name of that movie?
It's a TV series. It's on Netflix. Show. It's called Altered Carbon.
Oh, okay. I've never seen that one.
Oh, it's good. Anthony Mackie plays it so good too. But you know what I just thought about? They're Marvel boys, eh? I just realized
they are.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson played Nick Fury, and then Anthony Mackie played what the hell's his character called again?
The bird guy with the wings.
The
Bird guy. His
Falcon.
name's not Bird Guy. Falcon. I'm
Falcon.
actually looking forward to
Hey, would have known her to call out some Marvel shit.
Well, it was neat because they've. I'm trying to think if they ever played in a scene together though. I don't know if they have, actually. But anyways, I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
6 Degrees of Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I love him. I just love him.
Yeah, he is cool. Cool character.
All right, so Mr. Aubin, what you think, bud?
I like the movie. It's just more of what it was like, because if you really sat and thought about it, this movie took place 20 years sooner than the last one we just watched.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when you think about that, you got to say to yourself, really, how much has changed? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because
a little bit. A little.
He was able to walk in the bank.
Yeah, he was able to walk in the bank.
Business. That was nice.
He could walk into the bank.
Yeah, 60s, he couldn't walk in the bank.
No, you couldn't. You know, and it's a shame. You know, I think it was Samuel Jackson said, even a rigged game is fun to play. You know, I couldn't understand why when they decided to bring the other guy on as a partner. I can't remember his character's name. Yeah, him.
He played Beast in the X-Men.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Again.
He was also
nerd. Okay.
Actually, well, my favorite part of his all time is he was in Mad Max there, Fury Road. He played
okay.
The main, like the weird little dude with the tumors.
With the face. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I couldn't understand why Sam Jackson and Mackie didn't say to him, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna trust you and put all this stuff in your name, and not have something written up saying, okay, this really belongs to me."
I think they did. That's why they lost everything, except for what he was able to hide for them.
No, I don't think so, because otherwise, if they wouldn't have, I'm trying to think. I don't think that they did.
He signed everything in his name, like
right? But they were able to tie in Mackie and Samuel L. Jackson characters. They were able to tie it in, so the banking were able to draw them in.
They lost most of their stuff, so their name was like all over the place.
Their name had to be in it because that's why they were in front of Congress.
They were the investors.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If their names weren't on it, they couldn't have been charged because we just worked for him. I'm his chauffeur and I cleaned the bank.
Right.
But he was able to take.
He learned his lesson from the other guy that died. Remember when he died, he lost all of those apartments.
Right.
He learned his lesson. That's why their names were now on the paper.
Yeah. I mean, I was pissed off though at that guy, because it was like, okay, you want to step up. I get that. I guess he was trying to take initiative, but these are huge ideas. Why would you not talk to the other two guys about it? Like, how stupid was that you went to a lawyer you've never used before? Would you not say, I can't get my normal lawyer? What do you guys think?
But they told him what lawyer to go to.
They told him what lawyer to use.
But I guess he was trying to take initiative, but then he just blew everything right out of the water because he was an idiot. And then take the other bank to grab the loans from the... Oh, moron. He proved their point in that he wasn't ready by 2 dumbass moves.
Yeah.
Right.
I felt bad for him. I thought, yeah, you know what? They should cut him in. Like, not a third of a partner maybe, but maybe something. But then he pulls that shit, and I'm like, well, they were right not to fucking trust him. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, they basically bought him his own bank.
That's possibly his wife's influence, though, because she kind of like...
I said that. It was the woman.
She was kind of rolling her eyes every time, like, he was saying, oh, they said I should do this, and, like, she kind of, like, rolled her eyes as if to say, we're superior to the to the
Yeah.
to these
I can
guys.
say this. I can say this.
They
with
shouldn't be
100
telling you what to do.
I can say this with 100% certainty. He's pussy whipped.
Well, maybe it was good. So go ahead, Alban. Finish up.
I think I was basically done. I just always say, when they got locked up at the towards the end there, I was like, it's always just the same. If they want you guilty, you will be, okay? Because there was no reason for for them to have to get put in jail over that.
But honestly, though, Aubin, like what happened
Mhm.
from what I read, like when I watched it, when you see the behind the scenes after, where the white guy went to them and said, "I'm getting 50 years," they took a bullet for him. They took a bullet. He told him, "Go ahead, blame us." They took a bullet for him. Which, how fucking sweet is that? You know what I mean? Like they could have said to him, "You know what? No, like we didn't do this." And that guy was honest enough. I know he probably would have came clean, but they gave him an out and said, "Go ahead." They did. That's what happened. You saw the conversation that they had.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "They're telling me I'll do 50 years." They did 3.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Do you think though that
was pretty brave of them to say,
he's
"Blame us." What's that?
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you think they would, the law would even care, even if he did try to take responsibility? I think they still would have tried to.
No, they were trying to prove a point.
Mackie's character and Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Right.
Yeah.
To me, I think that the government at that point and the Congress or Senate, whoever was pushing it, I think they were trying to prove a point. No, you're not going to do this and try to sidestep the law because we're the law and we have this all set up.
But meanwhile,
sidestepping that.
Because of this, though, just a couple of years later, they passed a totally different law because of it. See, that's what makes me really, really angry is government politics bullshit. Because they were like, basically, we can kind of swing this guy. Remember they talked about it early on. We can swing this politician our way, and then it won't be a big deal, and you'll get right off. But I guess there wasn't enough time to do that. But how bad is that a politician decides
money? There wasn't enough money.
Whether the law, this law applies to you or doesn't apply to you. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. They were in the right. That the white guy, I'm sorry, but he fucked up and he did something illegal, and they didn't, and they shouldn't have gone to jail for that.
Right.
But they took the.
But then again, you're in Texas. Sorry if anybody in the chat group's from Texas, but fuck you, Texas.
Well, okay, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and let Andrew be next. Andrew, what you think, bud?
Brutal.
I probably won't talk much for this one because I made the mistake of turning the movie on and then getting preoccupied with something else for like 15 minutes, so I kind of missed most of what was going on at the start. But then when I realized I've got to do homework for this, I sat and started watching it, and I did get pulled in it. I tell you what I found was interesting. Is this is the first time I've seen Anthony Mackie in like a lead role.
Yeah.
Like I've always like seen him as like a supporting character.
Captain America's sidekick.
So for the first time seeing him, well that's what I reckon. That's what I know him from, really, just being Captain America, like the Falcon. And for like his first, like for the first lead role, I'm sure it's not his first lead role, but for the first one I've seen him in, I thought he played it really well, and I liked how his character was the dead serious one, and Samuel L. Jackson's character's like, I've been through all this shit before. I've seen
the wisecrack.
And Samuel L. Jackson was just like Samuel L. Jackson in every movie, really, entertaining and just he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
He's really funny in some of the scenes, like especially when they're in the office and he's talking about like Anthony Mackie's character. He's not satisfied with like getting good housing for black people. He wants them to get loans. He wants them to get the same kind of loans as what white people get. And he's talking about, let's buy this bank in his hometown, which just happens to be in Texas, which like. I'm obviously I'm not from the US, but it just comes across as though Texas was like at that period of time was like highly racially motivated.
That period of time.
I don't know if I'm talking a load of bullshit
That
here, but
period
it's
of
just the
time,
way it
but-
came across as.
South
Well,
is still bad.
I don't know. It could be still true now. I don't want to talk about something I don't know anything about. But like, but it's just, and Samuel L. Jackson's like, he just kind of like laughs at him as like you just like not satisfied with doing what you've done already. You want to go and fucking do some dumbass shit like that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
he's like, well, yeah, because look at the good we can do for the community, the black community in Texas and stuff. It's not good enough just getting them good housing. I want to give them the same rights as everybody else. I want them to have the ability to go in and make this money that everybody else is making. So
Own their own business, own their own building.
I like how
yeah.
he's like, he's not satisfied. He's not. It just shows you that he is not in it for making the money, because he already had a decent amount of money off owning properties anyway.
Yeah.
He actually wants to make a change. So that was like an endearing aspect to that character that I liked.
Yeah, stick up his ass or not.
and
He had better intentions than Samuel L. Jackson did. Samuel liked the money.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch Anthony Mackie in some other movies, because like every movie I've seen him
The
in,
Hurt Locker.
he just seems really.
Hurt Locker and Altered
The
Carbon.
Hurt
watched
Locker.
actually,
And Notorious. He played Tupac.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah, in that movie Notorious
I've
about
never seen The Hurt Locker.
Biggie
I know
Smalls.
it won Academy Awards, but I've
Oh,
never
the
seen it.
Hurt Locker is great. He was good in
Oh,
it.
he was adorable in the Adjustment Bureau.
Yeah.
He was so cute in that, his little hat.
Oh yes, I remember now. He
Andrew,
wasn't.
And watch Altered Carbon.
I've
He's in the
only
second
seen it.
season. Second season?
Yeah,
That was him.
Yeah.
I just need to see him in something. He just seems to be serious in everything I've seen him in. But he plays it well. Don't get us wrong. I'd like to see him in something else though, just because I do think he's a good actor.
See, I loved him in which.
But yeah, like it's like.
See, second Captain America, he was funny as hell. Do you remember when Captain America's circling around him and he keeps saying on your left? Anthony Mackie made me laugh a lot in that.
And isn't he in the Fast and the Furious stuff too?
I didn't see that.
No.
I was looking. I
No,
didn't see
he's
it.
not. Okay.
No.
Who am I thinking then?
Tyrese Gibson.
Tyrese? No, there's someone else.
There's that little. There's another little dude.
Hey, wow.
Luda's in it.
No. You know who I think is sexy as fuck though? It's Common. And I loved him in John Wick.
Okay,
Sorry.
all right, Andrew,
Anyways.
go ahead and finish up, bud.
Anyways, sorry.
I'm just.
I think I didn't.
I'm trying to help.
I didn't have much. I didn't really have much more to add. Like I think you pretty much have said most of the points I was going to make, and I regret missing the first part of the movie. That's all I'll say. I should have paid attention, but I like as the rest that I watched. I liked the movie. It's engaging.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It's ironic that we watched two movies that were true stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's kind of a weird theme that we picked up there. Who knows? I mean, you would have
I get to pick this week, and I'm going so not serious.
Okay, Blue. So, what did you think about the movie?
Okay. It took me a little bit to get into it at first. Just a little bit. I don't know if I was just tired. Seeing the racial shit makes me so fucking angry. And it's like with the last week we've had with everything going on in the US, I'm just so fed up with all the racist bullshit. So it was like at first watching this, I'm like, oh, my heart is broken. And watching this, my heart's breaking even more. So I had a hard time with it at first. When I see how Anthony Mackie's character and how fucking smart he is, he's a genius. Then it flashed me to, oh my God, I got to watch Hidden Figures again. Because have you guys ever seen that one? Black women working at NASA? Fucking 3 of them, all of them geniuses, all in different aspects of it. And I remember thinking about that and thinking about the fact that lots of times, black or white, lots of times there's kids who are so gifted. And if they don't get the education they need in order to get where they're going, you don't realize how fucking smart that person was. So it's like, I see him and how smart he is, and I thought about those girls, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, I gotta watch that again. And then I got interested again, and I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this. This guy's really smart. And then he meets Samuel L. Jackson, and right away he hates his guts. He's like, yeah, I'm not dealing with that guy. He's full of shit, and he's whatever. But then he grows on him, and they kind of offset each other a little bit, because Anthony Mackie's so serious, so smart and so serious, and Samuel L. Jackson's kind of like whatever. And then it gets to the point where they make money, and Samuel L. Jackson's like let's stay here, and Anthony Mackie's like, no, let's go help other people. And I loved the fact that he wanted to go back home, and he wanted to basically fund people who wouldn't be able to get money somewhere else. He was going to help them with their businesses and everything. I thought that was awesome. I hated the fact that the white guy screwed them by accident. It felt like he seemed like a nice kid, poor kid, who was just, starting to get a little money rolling in. And then his goddamn wife had to open her yap and say, you're not getting enough. And then he just got weird about it. But all the racial stuff in it bothers the shit out of me. And I know that was a long time ago, but yeah, it's still going on, and I hate it. I'm, in a weird way, lucky enough that I live in a kind of a small town. We have about 50,000 people. We haven't had a lot of black families. I mean, I had one of my good friends in high school was black, but I never saw him as black. Maybe because we didn't really have racism here, because there was no need for it. I don't know what it is, but we've always just been now we have a lot of like Indian people, like East Indian. We've always had a lot of natives, so it's kind of like, I think it's different in bigger cities. Maybe you get different populations of people, and then people get pissy about it. Anyways, for me, it's never been a black or white thing. So when I see that stuff, it makes me fucking angry. And this movie made me angry in a lot of ways, because I don't like seeing that. And I know for a fact that if I saw that now, and somebody said something to one of my friends, I'd fucking lose my shit. And I'm hoping a lot more people now, with all the stuff that's going on, finally, are going to lose their shit on other white people that are fucking racist. So this movie, once again, amplified everything that I've been watching all week. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked seeing them succeed. I hated seeing them fail. But I liked the fact that at the very end, they succeeded again. Because you know what? They were smart fucking dudes who deserved it. So I liked the movie a lot. Took me a little bit to get into it, just because I think I was tired. I was tired of everything. But I loved it. And they made me proud. Two totally differing dudes. The smart, serious one, and the fucking jackass.
Well, but I think one of the things, when you talk about Samuel Jackson, I also think that Samuel L. Jackson's character did not have the rose-colored glasses that Mackie's character had, because Mackie says, well, if I do well, they'll like me and I'll be accepted. And Samuel said, no, they won't.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're successful or not.
Actually,
you're still black. Because when they do that, when we saw the trailer, he says, wait a minute. I was born black. I woke up a black man. He goes, and I'm still black.
Yeah.
And that the thing was that Samuel L. was in the moment. He had clarity of what his situation was and what limits, because Mackie's character seemed to, there's no limit. If I do well, I'll succeed and they'll accept me. Samuel's like, no, they won't.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust no white folks, and I don't trust no black folks. Yeah. And I really don't trust anybody. And it was like, he didn't have the rose-colored glasses, I think, that sometimes people wear. But it's also, if you're not exposed to certain things. And again, I think this movie is another way of exposing you to things aren't the same way they are in your city.
No.
They're not the same. We all live different experiences. And we can say, oh, this is just a racially charged movie. No, this is somebody else's life. This is what they deal with. This is what they had to deal with this.
Yeah. You know what? One of the things that I love about true stories, and I loved at the end of this one, is I love when they show the actual guys. You got Samuel, and then you got the actual Joe, and then you got
And I wish
And you got the
I
actor
really
from-
wish that IMDb gave me. They don't show the pictures of those real guys because I actually found the one that Samuel L. Jackson. He's got like a big belly on him,
Yeah.
and he's all smiling and like, you know.
Yeah,
and
he looks
Samuel,
like a sweet man. Like he looked like a funny man. Yeah.
And Samuel
I
played
like
that
seeing
kind
that. I
of
like
part.
seeing the actual people. Just like when Andrew pointed out in the other one that the actual guy just walked by Will Smith. I thought that was so fucking cool. Yeah, no, it was a good movie. It's just right now. Oh, lordy. Lordy.
Yeah.
Wish the world would smarten the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Wish they'd smarten the fuck up.
I mean, where we're at.
Shouldn't be liking are assholes. If you're an asshole, yeah, I don't fucking like you. I don't care what fucking color you are. You're an asshole.
Alban, you got something to say, bud? I heard you unmute.
I unmuted. I had a quick question for everyone because did you happen to notice that when the white guy got married to that wife that we can't stand,
yeah,
were Sam Jackson and the other guy there at the wedding?
No, I didn't even notice.
Right.
I think they just focused on them. Yeah. You know
Yeah,
what?
they focused on them, but
Because
I bet you they weren't there.
Page,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So there's something else to think about.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a weird. It's weird, and again, we all need to. You need to be exposed to things that are different,
Right,
than what you are normally experienced. Because if all you experience is the things that you experience every single day, you don't learn. And
it's not your fault though. Like for example, with me, I'm not exposed to that stuff because I'm not around that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like if I lived in Toronto, it'd probably be totally different. But whereas I live here, we're predominantly white city. I mean, there are African Canadians. That sounds really weird. There are a lot of like natives. There are a lot of Indians. We have a lot of Asian. You know what I mean? But it's predominantly white here. But when I see people, I don't see color. Although I will say something, and you guys are going to hate me for this. Asian people, from my own experience, especially when I was in Toronto, are horrible drivers. They are horrible. They are horrible.
That's everywhere.
Parkers. And they will hit
Oh my God! All right, we're not allowed to use stereotypes.
And not get out and look at your car. They'll just hit it, and they'll get out and they'll walk away. I've seen it happen about 50 times when I was in Toronto.
Oh my gosh! Oh my God!
That's not to say you're not nice people.
This can't drive. Oh my gosh!
Totally
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is. It's terrible. So again, we're gonna go through the group and we'll play or pass on this. I'm gonna start with Patty. What you think, babe?
Definitely a play. And Todd, Blue, and Andrew, thank you, Auburn. Thank you. I'm gonna jump off. It's been great. I had fun.
Patty, you're coming in.
All right, Patty. So that is one.
Oh, I was gonna say.
All right, so she's watched on the side. So Patty, that's one show you've been on. If you make it 4, then you get to pick a movie like Alban got to pick last week.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? He picked a movie which pushes my pick back even farther. You know, the thing about when you have best is like, I was like, oh, this is my week. And Blue says, no, it's not. This is my week. I was like, no, it's my week. She goes, no, because Alban picked last week, so you get pushed back. I'm like, damn it, Alban.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. We want people on here. That's the fun of it. We want to have people on. So Alban, play or pass? What you think?
It was a play for me for sure.
Play, good. All right, so we got play from you. Andrew is next. What do you think, Andrew? Andrew?
He's pulling a Justin Trudeau.
For me, I'm gonna have to watch it again though because I'm missing.
Okay, you'll have to watch it again. All right, so he'll watch it again. All right, Patty D. I'm sorry, she did give a play. That's all right. That's all right, Patty.
Patty.
Blue. What you said? Blue, you gave it a play.
Sorry, but I gotta laugh because Andrew's pause. I don't know if any of you actually watched our prime minister, but when he was asked about Trump tear gassing people to go out and talk. He took 20. There was a 21-second pause. You know how long that is on air? When somebody pauses to answer for 21 seconds, that was Andrew right now. Just so you know.
Yeah, Forrest talked about that today. He says, "Did you see the Prime Minister of Canada?" And I'm like, "No." He goes,
no
and
response.
he told me about that, and he says, then he didn't answer it, and he was like,
Nope. He just said Canada needs to worry about its own shit. And you know what?
and
He's right.
And he said there was a long pause.
Honestly, somebody clocked it. It was 21 seconds long. Like, I mean, when you Andrew twice. That's creepy. Oh, that was creepy.
They're saying Andrew turned into a zombie.
That was creepy. I would play on that. It was a very good movie.
So
I'll switch him up one.
All right, so I'm going to give it a play. Great movie.
Yeah, that's plays all around for both movies.
And I was looking, play from everyone that was on the thing. I didn't see any pass. Great movie. Again, it goes back to Pursuit of Happiness. You're going to be uncomfortable in some places.
Same with this one.
And I'll roll back to something Claire and I talked about when she was going to be on the show. And if you're not uncomfortable, you're not learning. You need to be uncomfortable. You need to be uncomfortable at times to learn. And
I've watched a lot of shit I probably wouldn't have on my own. You know?
No, yeah.
This was going to be racially charged. And you know me, I only like to watch light, fluffy stuff.
Yeah.
Like Marvel.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we know all about that. So
don't kill me more than fucking Aubin and his goddamn Capernaum. Jesus. Jesus.
You're going to talk about that forever. I know it. and I was being nice with that one. Okay. I have doozies for you.
Oh, God Almighty. You're never coming
But
over.
I'm not going to do that to you. I promise you I'm not going to do that to you.
I'm having Todd
because now that I know how you feel. Because I was worried when they said we're going to do Pursuit. I was like, oh, boy, she's gonna be bawling at that one. But you made it through.
Not like that. Not like Capernaum. Oh, Jesus. Children?
it's hard to see kids. And again, this movie, great movie.
And at least Pursuit of Happiness had some sweet moments. Capernaum had none till the very end.
The sweet moment was at the end.
Well, when he was playing with the little boy. Hey, tell me. It wasn't. All right. So it wasn't cute when he had the mirror and it was reflecting off the TV in another room, and he would voice what the cartoon was saying.
Yeah,
that was cute as shit. He's like, oh, well, what do you think? He's an asshole. Hey, and he was swearing. Like, you're swearing for a little kid. But
anyway,
wait, you didn't think it was cute for him to go outside and see there was no water and curse at the fucking tank to say, "That's my water." You know, I have to get some water to fill in here.
Yeah, so definitely a play for us, y'all, for the bank.
Yeah.
Definitely both movies, Pursuit of Happiness and Banker.
Yeah. Never seen them, watch them. I know we just totally ruined them for you, but.
Yeah, and again, if you're watching our show, it was your fault if you didn't watch it before you started watching.
Hey, Todd, you know what you should do actually is at the very end when we talk about the fact that we said play, you should have it so the people that haven't seen it, thingy, on the bottom of your show notes, where they can click to the end and whether or not we recommend or not, and then they can go from there if they haven't seen them before they watch the whole thing and get it all ruined for them. They can come back after. So give our vote at the end. You tag it in your show notes. If you haven't seen this, just go to the end to see whether or not we recommend it or not. Then they can watch it and then watch the show. See whether or not they agree with it.
All right. Well, maybe
Sounds like a lot of hard work for Todd. That I don't know if he's going to do that.
I'll fix that for you.
Look at Andrew's like, that ain't gonna happen.
At 1 minute and 50 seconds, you just 1 hour and 53 minutes. You just click to see results, and write that above it. If you have not seen this movie,
but that means he's got to watch it back and he's got to figure out where we say it play. And I don't know if he's going to do that.
Okay, Andrew, right. I got a funny little story for you right now, actually, because you know how Todd is with his spelling.
Yes,
what's wrong with my spelling?
The funniest part about this is the Pursuit of Happiness is spelled happiness with a Y on purpose, and you actually spelled
did he spell it with it? Did he spell it
with an I?
With the I, correctly.
But did you see I changed it during the ticker tape? I changed it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I was looking at IMDb and I saw it and I was like, wait a minute,
I just thought it was funny, honey, because honestly, normally things aren't spelled right, and this time you spelled it right, except that you actually spelled it wrong.
Yeah. That's because he listened to Will Smith. He listened to Will Smith when he said it's spelled with an I, not a Y.
Yeah.
I listened to Will
Smith. Paying attention.
I paid attention to the movie. So definitely a play. So Blue, what is your pick for next week? Because I'm gonna write that down before we go for trending, which seems to be the most struggle for us to pick a current movie.
Okay, I'm going with super light because I've had enough with crying every week. So for me, most people have already seen it, but you know what? You're gonna go watch it again. I'm choosing Hot Fuzz.
Oh, yes.
I can't watch a British film.
Yes, you can.
Oh my
Suck it
Great
God.
movie.
If you need subtitles, turn on the subtitles.
I'll need them
Oh.
because I can't understand them, folks.
It's one of the funniest movies of all
Oh
time.
my
Easily.
Lord.
You see the part where he's talking about the girl getting fingered, you're laughing at that.
The only other movie you could have picked that would have been as good as that, it would have been Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I was actually going to say, can we have a week where we can just pick the whole Cornetto trilogy?
Yes,
Shaun of the Dead,
please.
Hot Fuzz, and World's End.
I know what my pick
I'm
is.
trimming your balls.
Good. What's that?
Oh,
Manscaping. It's
Oh, it's just
Manscaped. Yeah, I've got one ordered. Don't
Are
worry.
you going to blow it up?
All right, no. Minimize that. All right, so let's get that going.
Guys, no, I cut mine.
Everybody mute yourself.
Look at you. Hey, Alban, I haven't.
They don't hear it.
You know
I don't
what?
hear it at all.
Wait. Whoa,
Wrap
whoa,
it up and
whoa,
put the
whoa.
friggin'
No,
thing
I
in.
actually have it muted. I had it muted, and it
Yeah,
was
you
supposed to be
muted
paused.
at the
And I was going to say, Alban, I'm thinking about just, what?
It's still muted.
I know, and it's paused. Because I'm talking. Sit down. You need another fucking glass of wine. I need another fucking beer because I'm not ready to snap.
Give me 10 seconds. I'll be right back.
So I'm thinking this is my new platform. I'm wondering what y'all think. Alban's the only one that can vote because he's the only American here. I don't cut till he's out.
Oh, no.
Look at it.
I don't know
I'm gonna
about
go
that.
with this. Look at it. So I don't cut my hair till he's out. So I'm thinking that could be a movement.
We're going to call you hippie.
Don't
We'll
cut
start calling
till
you
he's
hippie.
out. Don't cut till he's out.
Well, we're going to call you hippie.
We'll be. Oh, did you think he's gonna be in there that long? Well, let's see. What's this? December. Look at look, Wayne says, "Go and play the trailer now that Blue's gone."
Oh, you bastard!
So yeah, I was just thinking. I thought that could be a new movement. I didn't know how well. I don't know if it'll take traction though.
Okay, what movement? What I missed?
Don't cut till he's out. I'm thinking about don't cut my hair till he's out.
So who's out?
The Trumps.
You have to be American for that.
American. You gotta be
Oh.
American to understand what we're talking about.
That's not till January. You know that, right?
Well,
You know what? You know I always wanted you with longer hair. So yeah, let's do that.
hey, it's already been pandemic long now.
Yeah.
What
I couldn't take it anymore.
So, Andrew, so I got to ask a question. So, what's a Lancashire boy?
What?
Lancashire?
Lancashire.
Yeah, Lancashire. Yeah, what's a Lancashire boy?
Okay, Todd, can you take that off his face now, though? Thanks.
I don't know what that is.
What's a Lancashire boy?
Yeah, Eddie said that I'd be that. Yeah, I guess if I got long hair, do they have long hair?
Someone from Lancashire.
Yeah.
Do they all have long hair
Would
there?
that have long hair?
I don't know. I'm from the northeast. I don't get that analogy.
Yeah, he's not from that. He's not that from that neck of the woods. All right, so we're gonna go ahead.
Back it up first, everybody.
Oh, you know
Back
what?
It up. Back it up. Hey, this is
Woman.
my pick. I can be picky about the fact that the YouTube trailer should play right.
Okay, so are we okay?
Did you unmute it?
Yes, and I haven't started it yet. Are you okay? Are we okay?
I swear to God, you're gonna get beat.
Oh my God!
Am I allowed to threaten that on YouTube?
Settle down.
God,
Know your role.
not many people watch it.
Sergeant Nicholas Angel, expert in hand-to-hand combat, armed response, and high-speed pursuit. He was so good, they reassigned him.
Right. You've been making us all look bad. There's one thing you haven't taken into account, and that's what the team is going to make of this.
Statistically, Sanford is the safest village in the country.
Now, this big city cop
You ever fired 2 guns whilst jumping through the air?
No.
You ever fired 1 gun whilst jumping through the air?
No.
must learn
Is it true that there is a place in a man's head that if you shoot it, it will blow up?
how to think small.
Morning, the swans escaped. The swans escaped.
Can you describe it to me?
About 2 foot tall.
Yep.
Long, slender neck.
That's just going to scare it.
But in a place where not much goes on.
Watch this. Ta-da!
A whole lot is about to go down.
3 people have died in a week.
Accidents happen all the time. What makes you think it was murder?
There hasn't been a murder in 20 years. You're saying this wasn't an accident?
Not everyone's a murdering psychopath. It's high time you realise that. You and your monkey. Did he mean me or that? Have you ever wondered why the crime rate is so low and yet the accident rate is so high?
I'm gonna bust this thing wide open.
From the guys who watched every action movie ever made and created Shaun of the Dead.
You never taken a shortcut before?
When the heat is on,
Here come the Fuzz.
you gotta call the Fuzz.
Gunfights, car chases.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hot Fuzz.
Got a mustache.
I know.
Okay, once again, trailer doesn't even do it frickin' justice. Doesn't do it justice. It's so funny. And if you ever seen Shaun of the Dead and you haven't seen Hot Fuzz, same guy made both.
Yeah, that's
I love
that
it.
is
You're right.
That's definitely. I actually watched it not too long ago, so
It's funny as hell.
it is funny. It is a funny
Oh,
movie,
yeah.
so
British
definitely
humor is
lighthearted.
always the best. British humor is the best.
Honestly, that fence scene.
Yeah.
I was pissing myself laughing at that bit.
I love Nick.
You just got to think of Shaun of the Dead. The same scene as Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
like Fuzz and you love it and you've never seen Shaun of the Dead, watch it. It's a totally different movie, but it's the same 2 dudes in it. Same director.
And I accidentally kicked myself before.
Yeah, I noticed that actually.
Yeah, you were laughing so hard you kicked yourself.
I pressed the wrong button.
Once again, I said trailer just doesn't do it justice. That's usually
But
what
is it-
you're like, it's so much funnier than that.
I'm going to be
Did you
interested
watch
to see.
Reno 911?
No,
Yeah, that came back actually.
is that American?
Yeah.
Yeah, not as funny as British.
Oh,
It's a good try to watch.
Hey,
Good
no
try.
stereotype, no stereotype there.
The funny thing is British humor and Canadian humor, same thing.
Yeah,
We get-
that's why
yeah.
I feel like these two.
yeah,
are
it's not funny.
You need to get the it's not funny. It's too intelligent. The humor is too intelligent for the likes of you Americans.
Americans like dirty humor, whereas we do
Yeah.
witty, sarcastic humor.
Oh my god.
I got to
Show
do
that to Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
Okay, Eddie Murphy was actually both of them. Fucking
if we go to
and Robin
delirious,
Williams.
delirious, hey, goony goo goo motherfucker. Hey,
Goody goo goo, motherfucker.
Good Eddie.
2 minutes in the water.
Yeah.
It was 2 minutes. I counted and come up with a motherfucker.
Yeah, raw and delirious. Both.
The amount of a Bigfoot.
Hey, you can't walk upstairs. I bet you climb a hell of a tree.
Remember when Eddie was doing the gay guy? Ho over.
All right, so hey, we moved on. All right, so let's go ahead. We need to figure out what's a trendy movie. Now, again, we are struggling because of early releases. We are struggling with new movies. So you got a lot. You got some movies here. I looked through some of these. The Hunt, which wasn't too bad. Birds of Prey. I don't know about that. I still say
It's a B movie, but it's entertaining, but it's a B movie.
I still put out there a movie that won the Academy Award, y'all. Was
Parasite.
Parasite. I still put that out there because it's we didn't want to do it 2 weeks ago because you had to read in it. So, but you got to read in it. So, but definitely different. Not racially charged. After all right. So, but I don't know. Do you? I was looking. Does the chat side? Does the panel or someone in the side chat have some movies that you would like to see as a more current movie? So it would be our current movie choice, not something. Pet Sematary. What's been out over a year?
Cool.
I think that goes a little far back. Any of you guys on the panel have a suggestion? I threw out Parasite because I still think it's unique enough and different enough.
Once again, though, it's another week of reading.
You got to read. It counts as a book.
And so you also realize, I think in Parasite the subtitles are a lot smaller than normal movies because it's coming from the movie, I think.
Yeah, like hard-coded.
Right. Just so you know.
All right. So, and I also say 1917, which is pretty heavy.
Newer, like
but there's nothing. I mean, this Wrong Missy. If you look it up, it has very bad.
What's his name?
Thoughts. Very bad ratings on it.
Yeah, let's not do that.
It's very bad ratings. So I mean, we're struggling with something. I mean, you could go with Bad Boys, a documentary. What?
Actually,
Just Mercy.
You trolls.
Can I say yes to Bad Boys, which I haven't seen yet? And Martin Lawrence looks fucking great.
I haven't seen neither one.
I haven't seen it neither.
I've seen it, but just once.
I'd be okay with it because it looks Martin Lawrence has gained some weight, eh? And is there comments about that in there?
Men in Tights. All right. Jay, we're talking current movies, sir. Sit down. So, all right.
Sit down.
I go
Midway. Sit down.
I go Bad Boys.
Midway is actually new.
Wayne gave talked about Capone. So, do we want to take a look at? Didn't we look at the trailer for Bad Boys?
We did already. I think we actually did look at it.
No, I don't think we watched the trailer, but we talked about it.
I did because I remember watching the trailer for it.
Yeah, because he's gonna pee himself. We can. Extraction. Wasn't that Extraction week?
It was one of either that or Postcard Killings. I mean, we can watch it again. There's this Lodge.
You watched the trailer for Midway. Like,
I don't want to watch Midway.
Okay, let's watch Bad Boys.
Or Capone. That was another one we would talk.
It's not even the fun part of Capone. It's the end of his life when he has dementia or something.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to watch the whole, Prohibition stuff, but apparently.
All
right. Redneck also threw out there Ford and Ferrari, which is within the last 6 months.
That was good. You guys see that?
Yeah,
Who the hell's damn racing?
Did
All
you
right,
guys
so
see Ford
versus Ferrari. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I did. You know what?
I haven't
One of the
seen
things that I learned from that was the whole Shelby thing. I didn't realize Shelby, because when I watched Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage and they talked about Shelby, I was like, what's that? But apparently it's named after a dude.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, all right.
I like racing movies. Actually,
all right,
like
so we got Bad Boys. You're talking about Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah.
I mean, so what's the rest of the panel thinking? I don't know. Between Bad Boys and Ford versus Ferrari, what is our side chat? We got 17 people in there. You got to type quick because you're on a delay. You're on a delay. So you can abbreviate. You can abbreviate and we'll know what you're talking about.
Carol Shelby. Sorry. Yes, Redneck. I did not realize that at the time.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a name of something. Actually, I thought it was a girl. I thought Shelby was the name of the girl.
Said the Lodge.
Has anyone seen the movie Just Mercy with what's his name there? The kid that that played
I know
Creed.
I don't like him.
Is it new?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah, it's pretty new. You don't like him?
No, the guy
Okay.
Black Panther, the bad guy.
Right, yeah.
Not
Yeah,
crazy
Michael B. Jordan.
Not crazy
Michael B.
about
Jordan.
that.
Yeah. And it's also what's his name?
Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah,
that's another Rachel. All right.
It's Rachel? Okay, then I don't know. I'm just asking if anyone saw it. That's
Michael
why.
B. Jordan,
No,
he's
I
nice
I haven't watched
to
it.
look at, but no, he doesn't do it for me as far as the acting. Like Chadwick Boseman there, like Black Panther, loved him.
Is it because did you watch The Wire?
No, I saw him.
Oh, okay.
I saw him in the Fantastic Four. I saw him in a bunch
Okay.
of stuff. He's wooden.
Friday Night Lights?
No, never watched Friday Night.
Actually, speaking about Black Panther, what about what's it called? The Bridges
21
movie?
Bridges.
21 Bridges, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I will watch that at some point. I do like that guy. Actually, I didn't even realize that he's not British, eh? He's American?
He's American, isn't he?
Chadwick Boseman? Because he was in, oh my god, what's that cheesy one where they were like Greek gods? Oh, no, Egyptian gods. Gods of Egypt? He was in that. I didn't realize it was him. Like, first time I saw him, now that I know him, and he had a British accent in it. And he was really good with a British accent. I was like, holy shit, dude, nice. Okay, I'm going to go for Bad Boys because I've never seen it. Ford versus Ferrari, I liked. I've already seen it, but I liked it. So I'm going to go Bad Boys. You guys?
Okay.
I'll do Bad Boys. I'm simple. I'll watch anything, especially something I haven't seen yet. So Bad Boys is good because I saw Ford versus Ferrari.
Okay, yeah, me too. Andrew?
I've seen Bad Boys, but I will watch it again, definitely.
You don't have to go for that. You go for whatever you want. And if we get like a 2 vote one and 2 vote another, then we'll figure something out.
Well, it's either that or 21. I haven't seen 21 Bridges, but I can't. There's not. Yeah, I'll go Bad Boys. Yeah, because everybody else hasn't seen it.
I've also looking at Wayne went with Bad Boys. Patty, or no, was it Shrinking Sharon said Bad Boys. So I see, and I haven't seen Bad Boys. I've seen Ford versus Ferrari twice.
I can't believe this. Shrinking Sharon put out there that Michael B. Jordan's remaking New Jack City. How can they remake that movie?
They shouldn't.
Why are they touching that? He wasn't even born when crap was coming out, you know?
They run out of ideas. You know what? It's like Disney remaking every single cartoon they ever made. Live action. I got no more ideas. Is that all?
The hell?
Yeah.
Alban. Alban got the damn. He's got motorcycles, airplanes coming in. That mugs, he got it all. I mean,
don't get me wrong. I wanna love Michael B. Jordan more than anything in the world. He's handsome as shit. I haven't watched anything yet where I was like felt like he was any more than wooden. Kind of like Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is wooden. You know how some actors,
you know what? Go to the first season of The Wire, and
I'm never gonna watch.
And then you'll respect his acting job.
I'm never gonna watch The Wire.
Oh,
I heard it's fantastic. I'm still not.
It is.
Anyway, Bad Boys.
Okay, so we're gonna go with Bad Boys.
Okay, I'm adding my playlist on track.
All right, so I was looking to see if anybody had said anything in my Facebook thing, which I can't see. So if you're watching this via Facebook, I highly suggest you to watch the YouTube link, and I'm able to see your comments quicker because Facebook is very, very slow to send me those. So I will say
it's Bad Boys for life, right?
So Bad Boys, we're watching Bad Boys
for life,
and we're watching
Bad Boys for Life, right? It's number 3.
Yeah, bad. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm adding it to
Bad Boys for Life.
Anybody who has my
Fuzz.
my tracked pop list will now have both those movies on there.
And I will add your link to that track list. And if you guys have Kodi, it is so. If you have an add-on, a lot of add-ons have it where you can add tracked. If you add tracked and you like her list, it will actually. There's all the shows that have been part of, all the movies that have been part of the show.
Every week, as soon as we pick the new ones, I add them, so right away you know if they're the first 2. You can watch.
It's easy to keep up with. So I actually used it through Shadow this past week because I went to Shadow and then I saw the banker. You had the banker in there.
Well, you know what? Aubin is now on my Plex, so it would be funny actually if the 4 of us do a watch together.
Yeah, I would have last time I saw your message out there, but I couldn't. I'll explain to you guys later. And also the fight was on. I was already into the prelims when the UFC.
That wasn't on Saturday Night. Wasn't that time, was it?
Aubin, get your
yeah, it was.
Okay,
it was.
Hey, watch the fights or watch movies with me. Get your goddamn priorities straight.
I'm sorry. They were really good prelims.
Saturday night.
I totally forgot about the fight.
Saturday night.
And don't forget this week also.
250 UFC 250. So
yep.
we will not be watching a group party on Saturday night.
No,
not at all.
Just saying, that's not going to happen.
I'm telling you, it's not going to happen with me.
I know what I'm watching Saturday night. But if you have, and you've offered that when in the BS troop or BS chat. I'm sorry, I'm on my 4th. So I'm getting a little slower. So we that group watch is fun. So if you're in the BS chat, BS chat,
then we'll do like
on Telegram
too. So like on our phones. So you watch it, but we all mute ourselves, and then when you want to make a comment though, you just unmute yourself and go, "Oh my god, I can't believe that bastard just did that," and then mute yourself.
Yeah, it is fun. It does make it more interactive.
And the cool thing about it is, if one person has to go to the bathroom and they pause it pauses for everybody, so nobody's missing anything.
Yeah. So cool. If you're on Telegram and you want to be in the BS chat, if you ask Blue, send her a message, because I don't want the pressure of allowing you in the BS group. That's her.
I have
her room. That's her room.
That's whatever.
It's just for fun.
I am an admin though, and I will add, and I will.
She created the group.
I'm also the enforcer. I'm the enforcer in there because Todd's really, really nice, and I'm not so nice. You're a dick. You're nice.
I'm not in the BS forever.
Yes, you are.
No, I used to be.
That's because you left, punk.
I left all of them.
Yeah. That's your choice. So again, we got Hot Fuzz and
Bad Boys for Life.
Bad Boys for Life is the next week's movies, and I will try to add that as an event so that people can pay attention. Next week, 5 p.m. Does Aubin, you got anything to finish up with the show before we roll out?
No, I want to thank Patty for coming on. That was great.
That was awesome.
You know that it wasn't hard. You came on. Yeah, you had a good time. Well, just like I told you would. We have a ball. I can't wait to see everyone next week. Everyone remember the movies. Don't forget about Todd's show on Friday. And I can't wait to see you all again soon.
All right. Hey, Andrew, what do you got to say, bud?
Just sorry about my terrible connection. Popping in and out. But yes, like Auburn just said, well done to Patty for coming on. Finally got you on. It only took seven weeks, but we got there.
Just gotta ease her in.
Look forward to next week. Can't wait to watch Hot Fuzz.
I know. That's a friggin' keeper.
Miss Blue, what do you got to say, babe?
Thank you everybody for watching. I know it's a small group of us, but it's always the same people, and that's really adorable. And I love the fact that you guys are watching the movies, and some of them are garbage, and some of them are wonderful. But we're all watching them together, and that's awesome. So I love it. So thank you guys.
All right, and Shrinking Sharon said that she'll join Patty D.
Good.
So,
All right.
Sharon, I've hold on a second.
Don't say it's Charles.
No, it's not. So Patty, again, or Shrinking Sharon. I'm sorry, Shrinking Sharon. You're welcome to join my show. I post the link. I've been on your show, babe.
Yeah.
Join my show.
Please
Join
do.
the show. And we have a good time, and you watch you're loyal all the time. So thanks for watching.
She's adorable.
Thanks for y'all watching. Thanks for watching the movies for us to talk about. I'm sorry if we spoiled some movies for you.
And you know what? I keep hoping that one week we're gonna get some new actual movies. It seems like it's been months since we've gotten new movies.
It is.
So hopefully in the next couple weeks something new will come out. And not something
How about this?
4 months
I've
old.
got an idea.
Yeah?
I've got an idea for next week. If it's still the same, if it's still the same movies in the trending bit, why don't we just do 2
older
movies?
Actually, Andrew, I actually thought about that for this week.
No, you didn't. Don't steal my idea. Scott.
Well,
My idea.
maybe. No. You know what? My president would steal that idea and say it's his. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. So yes, if we have the same bullshit movies and it's the same ones, we should do
older.
Two panel picks. It'll be 2 panel picks instead of
I'd
one.
say one panel pick, one chat group pick.
Well, the chat is so limited; they don't say a whole lot.
You know what?
So I say, you know what? If you got the balls to roll on the panel, you get to pick. You gotta have some balls.
You don't get to pick. You get to suggest.
I was just gonna say one panel pick, and then you go on the movie database and just click on the top 100 watch movies, and we can just all pick.
Or Todd types in coolest movie of all time and see what Google shows us.
All right, we got a little time to work through this. So hopefully something new comes out next week. If not, we don't know what's going to happen outside of my pick because I get a pick next week.
Or
I
don't know what you guys think about this one, but
don't take it away from me.
A season of something fantastic. One season.
No.
You know, it is a struggle to get through 2 movies
A season?
I can marathon a season of something on Netflix, which is like 8 episodes.
Something I've already seen. Can I just
Afterlife by Ricky Gervais. Honest to God, I marathon 2 seasons in a night. They're only half-an-hour shows.
Yeah.
Afterlife. It's an easy one.
All right. Hey, sit. You know what? You're not allowed. Sit down. All right. So Shrinking Sharon says she's been on my show before. Yes, you've been on Streaming Matters. You haven't been on this show.
No,
They've been on a good show. Everyone's been on that other crappy show.
Yeah, that other show.
Good one.
There's only 85 episodes of that show.
Good one.
You're on the new. This is the new shit. You got to be on the new.
I left that crappy show ages ago because I knew it was just bull crap. This is where it's at.
Jaws. Album. Is that your name? You picked Jaws? That is in my top 5. But I thought I'd go for a little lighter this week. Otherwise, Jaws. I'll probably pick that
Jaws. What about Open Water?
No! Open water there. Auburn,
That blows Jaws away.
Sit down. Sit down.
No. What about Deep Blue Sea?
Oh, so good.
Sit down again.
LL Cool J, Samuel L. Jackson.
Sit down.
Oh, wait, we're talking about friggin' is it Deep Blue Sea?
Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, that was a great movie. I love that movie.
It's the best shark movie since Jaws.
LL Cool J was like he was like the preacher, but he was also the cook. Okay, but what was his name? Was it preacher? Priest?
Oh my god.
My mother, I made my mother watch that movie, and when the shark grabbed hold of LL Cool J's leg, She was like, no, she didn't want him to get. She was like, no, don't let him die, and he starts stabbing.
I love Samuel L. Jackson giving the big motherfucking speech, and then shit happens. That part.
That's actually the first movie I saw him dying.
I actually
The
tried
first
to
movie I
watch.
see him dying.
I tried to watch C2C2 like maybe a month ago. I thought, oh shit, it's garbage. It's great garbage. First one was great.
No.
Oh,
You know what? You know what? All of you sit the fuck down. Okay, so we're gonna roll out of here. We're rolling out of here because this has become just a shit show. I see this Deep Blue Sea.
No,
What
that's
the
what
fuck?
Streaming Matters is.
No. Well, never mind.
That is a good
So,
one. I might pick that.
Drinking Sharon, Wednesdays. What time, Andrew?
It's 10 p.m. UK and 5 p.m. Eastern.
That's right. That's right. So Shrink and Sharon, join us.
Don't Todd, don't shut up yet. Hold on a
All
second.
right. What? Oh my lordy.
Don't.
Oh my lordy. What the hell? What are you doing? What do you do? Wait, no, wait. She's doing something. I don't know what she's doing.
It's just adding the list.
I added the track list for.
Oh, okay. I thought. Okay. So she's added that to the pop list. If you have tracked, I will add the track list to the show notes. It's easy to add it. If you add it, if you have an add-on that you have tracked in and you like the list, boom, it's easy. Easy to keep up. It's easy. Easy
Like
peasy.
it, and then for me, I just add it as a widget, and then every week when I have to watch my show, when I have my homework, I'm like, oh, it's right there.
It's funny. We all call it homework.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, what's
You don't
my
have to be
homework?
It's the only movies we watch where we have to take notes, you know.
Yeah, most of the other movies, I'm watching it, but I'm over here, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that's good, yeah. But this one, I take notes every single movie. But hey, watch the movie. So Hot Fuzz and Bad for Life is the next week movies.
Bad Boys.
Bad
Boys for Life, and I will get it correct. I will get it correct in the show. So thanks for y'all watching. Thanks for Patty joining the chat. God, I need to eat some dinner. I got to eat some dinner. I have to eat dinner because it's been a long time since lunch, and Dab is on the point. Right at that, I'm at that pivot
You're
point.
there.
I am there. I got a half more. I got to work through.
You need to eat something before the show. Okay.
Well, never mind.
I don't give 2 fucks. Say it.
Yeah.
I don't give 2 fucks.
So thanks.
I think I have a shirt that says that.
That should be his clothes. That thing instead. If Cody matters to you, it should be. I don't give 2 fucks.
Oh my lord. Okay, so we're off the rails because of me. And I can't help it. I can't. Yeah, she does. That's my daily goal every day is to make. So thanks you all watching. Watch the 2 movies. I will post it in the upcoming shows. Share, like, subscribe, blah 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 blah. And watch those 2 movies because we're going to give you spoilers to these movies, and I'm hoping they're going to be good. Hot Fuzz I know it's funny. Bad Boys for Life. I don't even watch it yet, so we'll see.
Yeah.
So hey, thanks for watching because this is Player Pass, and both the movies we had this week were plays. So if you saw them, that means you got to watch the motherfuckers. So watch them. Y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all Friday.